excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Nate Puderbaugh with your sports update. Last night in college basketball, Miami of Ohio completed the perfect regular season. The 19th ranked Redhawks knocked off the Ohio Bobcats 110-108 in overtime on the back of Ian Elmer's career-high 32 points. They finished the regular season 31-0. It's a busy day for Ohio State hoops. The 11th ranked OSU women's team is in the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament. They take on top seed UCLA today at 2 o'clock. Coverage begins at 1:45 on the Fan 2. The OSU men's team wraps up the regular season today at the Shot. They take on the 18-12 Indiana Hoosiers today at 5:30. Fan coverage begins at 4:30. The CBJ continue the homestand tonight. They look to make it 4 straight wins as they take on the Utah Mammoth at 7 o'clock. The Blue Jackets sit just 1 point back of the Boston Bruins for the final wildcard spot. And in NFL news, the Baltimore Ravens acquire 5-time Pro Bowl defensive end Max Crosby from the LA Raiders. Breaking sports news, what happens to the Fan? Ohio Sports Destination.
The Fan is live and local with Fan Sports Saturday. The Fan Sports Day of the Week. Oh, this is some clever branding. Here's your host, place, name here.
We'll start your sunny Saturday with a little bit of a disclaimer. If you had any problem with the Miami Redhawks and their players telling the Ohio University student section last night after their overtime win, as you heard Nate there in the update, telling them you're number one and giving them the business after that entire historic game last night at the Convocation Center, the OU student section was giving the Miami players the business.
Yep.
If you had a problem with what the Miami players did after that game, this might not be the program for you. Happy Saturday. Eric Rieser, Jeff Thidoff. You heard Nate there in the update. Yeah, only 8 teams since 1979 have finished the college basketball season undefeated in Division I. And as much as it pains me as a proud Ohio Bobcat to say, Miami is the latest. 31-0 for the Redhawks last night. Again, Nate told you 110-108 in overtime. Bobcats had a chance at the end of regulation. Jackson Paveleski was a warrior, but he misses a mid-range jumper, and then in overtime he misses a 3, and you get history made last night in Athens. And Tito, I don't know if you were able to stay up for it. I tried. I'm buzzing. I was buzzing last night. I'm kind of buzzing off of that because as we are now fully into March,
right?
Everything you want from these next few weeks, you got last night in Athens.
Yeah, and as an OU grad, okay, as a MAC grad,
yeah,
you got to think it's pretty cool Miami's doing what they're doing.
I would like it to have been somebody else.
Okay.
And maybe them not get that 31-0 in Athens.
Right.
Because for the Redhawks, they hadn't won at the Convocation Center or in the city of Athens in, 15 years? 14 straight losses.
Wow.
At Ohio.
Wow.
Last night ends all of that. So I'm a little melancholy with that.
You ready for all the Wally Zerbiak highlights to be played during?
Look, I'm not that serious when it comes to the Battle of the Bricks in terms of Ohio State, Michigan. There's no love for that team up north.
Oh, no.
There's not hatred for Miami. I loved watching Wally this season as he's going along with it. It's one of the coolest things about March when you're a fan of a team like that and they're going on a run.
Uh-huh.
And the Redhawks have the Mid-American Conference Tournament. They're the number 1 seed in that next week in Cleveland. They're probably going to get an invitation to the big dance. To be able to follow a mid-major like that as they try to make a run, there's not much better in sport. And to do that and to see Wally do that, I did it myself with OU back in 2012.
Right.
Followed them to St. Louis in the Sweet 16. That's what this is about.
Are you still using the word probably?
Yeah.
Dude, they're in.
I'm not fully sold on it. And it's wrong. 2 things can be true. I think they should be in regardless of how next week goes in Cleveland for Miami.
Right.
But I also think if you put their resume, their regular season resume, up against some of the at-large teams that the committee will be discussing, probably this time next Sunday, they might be on the outside. Or at the very least, one of the first 4 in. Say Akron is able to pull an upset in the MAC championship game. I still think the committee might lean that way. They shouldn't. Miami should absolutely be in. But if you're going to compare resumes and you're going to do this completely blind from how the history looks,
right,
which I think they're going to try to do, right? You see, all right, Miami's resume, Georgia's resume, Auburn's resume, quad 1 wins against Power 4 teams.
Sure.
Miami's the best offense in the country, scoring and statistically.
Right.
That's going to count for something. But if you're talking about the net rankings, the quad 1 things, the WAB acronym I learned yesterday.
What's WAB?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's like WAR in baseball is what I was told.
All right.
But it's another metric that the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee uses.
So,
but they should be because it's the most interesting story in college basketball this season. Darren Peterson's second.
didn't Miami's AD come out and said they tried to schedule?
Yes, and
He said we like 75 teams or something. We tried to schedule with them, and we couldn't do it.
There was a college football journalist, Matt Brown, who does Extra Points, is his website, and he submitted a Freedom of Information Act submitted the Freedom of Information Act to Miami Athletics to get emails, and he published about 20 of them from the University of Miami's athletic department asking Marquette, Ohio State, Pitt, Wisconsin, would you like to play the Redhawks? They all got left on red.
And it wasn't like, come here and play us. We're going to go to your place and play you.
Yeah, we'll come to you. But I do and I think I don't know if it was Bishop and Friends, it might have been Morning Juice with Beamer and Bob, when they had asked Chris Holtman about scheduling every single season, teams like Dayton and Xavier and Cincinnati and Miami, which I think they should do, Ohio State. And I think Holtman turned it around on, we're going to be focused, our non-conference scheduling, on Power 4. And that's why you get the CBS Sports Classic. That's why you get a Virginia and Nashville.
Sure.
So I do think, for Ohio State, the only thing I can speak of, the Buckeyes, obviously, because we have access to Jake Diebler and to Ross Bjork, then to Gene Smith, their focus is there for non-conference scheduling.
Yes.
And then they litter it in with the IU Indies of the world.
Yes.
But they should.
But instead of IU Indy, give me Akron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of some of these schools they play that are smaller schools that are just coming here for the paycheck, schedule MAC schools, schedule Ohio schools in that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because there's some of the best basketball in the country is being played right now in the Buckeye State.
Yeah.
And I would love to see the Redhawks and the Buckeyes meet up in the big dance.
God, you and I are in such different mindsets on this. I'm sitting here thinking Miami's a lock to get in. And I think if they win the MAC tournament, if they're anything worse than a 7 seed, I would dispute that. I'd be mad about that.
Wasn't it a month ago where I told you the same thing?
I know. But like you were sitting there
they should be a 7 seed. They'll be a 10.
Yeah, they'll be a double-digit seed if they probably when they win the Mid-American Conference tournament. They'll be a double-digit seed.
But you look at it now, they're ranked 19th in the country. So some people who know basketball, some people who know basketball believe Miami is the 19th best team in the country. That would be a 4 or 5 seed. Maybe a 6 or 7 if you want to do that, but not 10 or 11.
Just looking at the latest bracketology.
Yeah. I think
they were an 11 seed.
Well, the one from Lunardi, I think it was a 9.
Okay.
He had it as a 9 going against an 8.
Did he get his most recent out on Thursday?
I'm not sure. I remember looking at it, though, yesterday.
But they should absolutely be in. I hate that this conversation's even percolating.
I know.
I guess it's a good job out of Bruce Pearl now that he's in the media.
God, what an idiot.
I went from not caring at all about Auburn basketball to rooting against Auburn basketball because of Bruce Pearl and his dumb Nepo fail song.
Oh, yeah. I hope their first 4 out. And
I hope they don't make the tournament.
I know. I hope their first 4 out and the MAC gets 2 bids.
So Lenardi's most recent bracketology has Miami on 11 seed.
Oh, an 11. Okay.
Playing 6-seeded Vanderbilt in the first round of the Big Dance. He does have the Buckeyes a 10 seed, taking on St. Mary's and St. Louis.
I'd rather be a 10 than a 9 for Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I think for Ohio State, who has Indiana today at 5:30, in the final game of Bruce Thornton's career at the Schottenstein Center, which is incredible.
Yeah.
I think the Buckeyes are in right now. I do think if they're able to make it to next Friday in the Big Ten tournament, there's no doubt they're in the actual Big Dance. Right now, they're probably first 4 in. Or last four in,
last 4 in,
I should say.
Last 4 to get buys.
They're doing right now. I think Ohio State's dancing in the. Say they lose to Indiana today and then go and have a win in the Big Ten tournament.
Right.
They're probably last 4 in, or their last 4 bye, whichever the one sends you to Dayton.
Oh, that'd be the last 4.
I think they're going to Dayton if that stands. If they beat Indiana today, and if they're getting healthy at the right time, if Junie Mobley's shooting as well as he does, if Bruce Thornton, he only needs 12 points to become Ohio State's all-time leading scorer. If all of that can come together today like it has in the last 2 games for the Buckeyes, they're going to be feeling awesome going to Chicago next week. And if they're able to stack a win there, it's golden.
Yeah, I think so too. It's funny. They could either be the 9, the 8, or the 7 seed. You know, they could be anywhere there. They get the 7 seed if they win and UCLA loses to USC. That gives them the 7 seed. They're an 8 seed as long as they win against Indiana.
Yeah.
They're a 9 seed if they get beat by Indiana and Iowa wins.
And you mean the Big Ten tournament?
Big Ten tournament. Yes, right. I mean. Yeah, sorry. So the top 8 get the double buys. And that's what's important. With this team, with the depth and the injuries they've had, playing 1 less game is a good thing.
And so yesterday, I think it was Brandon Knoll got upgraded to day-to-day.
Oh, that's good.
I think it's always just been a shrug emoji.
Yeah.
And now that he's got an official designation next to his name, feels like they'll sprinkle him in today. against Indiana. Yeah. We'll have Adam Jardy on at 10:30 to break down the latest with that and everything going on with the Big Ten. And as it relates to Ohio State, you're kind of watching teams like UCLA.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think they had any chance against Nebraska this week, but
yeah.
Mick Cronin's having them on a run, and they're feeling less and less of it. They're feeling pretty bubblicious.
Yeah.
So life on the bubble for a handful of Big Ten teams, Ohio State being one of them. First 2,000 fans at the Shot today get a Bruce Thornton bobblehead, one of two. I'm not the biggest bobblehead guy in the world, but that would be one I'd like to have.
I would love to have it, yeah. Pull some strings.
I don't know anybody.
They'll give away 1,999 because Rieser gets one special.
I hope they give them out. I hope they don't have a single one left over from the game.
Oh, there's no way they will. Yeah, they'll be gone. Yeah.
I hope the first 2,000 come and go. We'll have pregame coverage on the Fan at 4:30. For the Ohio State women, it's UCLA.
I know.
Today in the Big Ten women's semifinals. It's as daunting of an ask as you could have. That's as daunting of a draw as you could have gotten for Kevin McGuff.
Yes, it is. It's UCLA beat them 87-75 the first time around. UCLA is damn good.
Yeah.
Breaking news on that one. It's going to take a Herculean effort. Look, and I'm not saying it's just that there's a gap between Ohio State and UCLA in size, and it's just if Ohio State if they can get their defense going to where they're forcing, and UCLA's got great guards, if they can force UCLA into turnovers, they've got a shot. But if UCLA is able to grind them down, it's going to be tough.
If they play defense like they played yesterday, they've got a shot.
Yeah.
Ohio State beat Minnesota yesterday 60-55 in the Big Ten Women's Tournament quarterfinals. That game against the Bruins. Today at 2:00, we'll have coverage over on the Fan 2. Tyler Danberg's going to have the call of that 1:45 for the action. Big day, trade deadline in the NHL. The Columbus Blue Jackets, and we'll get into a little bit more with the CBJ and what they did yesterday and the opportunity they have to make it 4 in a row against the Utah Mammoth tonight. Dylan Tyrer of the CBJ Radio Network is going to join us at 11:30 because the team got better.
Yeah.
And that's the job for Don Waddell. You bring Garland over from Vancouver. They acquired Marchment before the Olympic break. But the biggest trade yesterday was not in the NHL. It was in the NFL. We'll discuss that next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Remember what sunshine feels like? Windows open, birds chirping, everything looking fresh and new. Spring is closer than you think, and so are those home projects on your to-do list. Maybe winter left its mark, a small leak that's getting bigger, shingles that didn't survive the snowstorms, or siding that's clearly seen better days. Whatever your home is facing, our team of professionals at Newman Roofing are here to help. For more than 34 years, Newman Roofing has been helping homeowners protect what matters most. From your first phone call, you'll notice the difference. Passionate and committed people who care about doing the job right. And with over 1,000 five-star Google reviews, you don't have to take our word for it. If your roof, siding, or gutters need attention, call the family company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof this spring, get a Newman roof.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra. Exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Take your shot to save at Great Lakes Hyundai. Shoot the hoop to get extra savings on your new car purchase. On top of big shot savings like 0% financing on 26 Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucson's for up to 5 years. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. It's the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With Pro Credit, some customers may not qualify. First to cruise during no payment period. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's Best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Offer ends 3/31.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and I just want to let you know our son's about to turn 3 here this week. Baby boy number 2. 2, he could show up any day now. And as you know, I got started on Awaken 180 because I wanted to keep up with the boys, with the babies. Well, it turns out that baby isn't a baby any longer. He has legs and he runs everywhere. Every parent knows this. Kids run their own schedule, so life in our house has gone from busy to really busy, and that's exactly why I'm grateful I started Awaken 180. Chasing a toddler is already a workout. Soon it's going to be 2 little guys who don't slow down. Since losing the weight, I've got more energy. I'm sleeping better. I'm not dragging through the day. I'm more present, and more importantly, I'm more patient, and that matters because this is not about looking different. It's about being active with my boys now and being there for them years from now. Awaken 180 gave me a clear plan, real coaching, and results that last. If you've got a busy season coming up or you're already in one, now's the time to do so. Awaken180weightloss.com. Get started today.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Over 90,000 5-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage doors is what we do. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
The Buckeyes are back at the shot for a Big Ten battle with Indiana.
Live fan coverage starts Saturday at 4:30 with the tip at 5:30.
Every game, every season, proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. Ohio sports destination.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post 9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing,
to get the help you need,
to find peace.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today will be very warm as we see high temperatures soar into the mid-70s. It will be breezy at times ahead of storms. Your storm chances are around the noon to 6 p.m. time frame. During that time, any storms could be strong. Even severe storms will be possible with strong gusty winds, heavy rain, and plenty of lightning. That rain gets out of here this evening. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith on 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Hey, Nate. Did you do me a favor and get rid of that weather? Look, I appreciate the job that Ashley and everybody at the 10 Weather Impact Forecast team does, but I'm not trying to hear rain. I'm not trying to hear thunderstorms in the forecast. You know how perfect yesterday was? Hopefully everybody got there to enjoy a little bit of it.
You know, you got to turn the mic on. This new radio.
You know, we're 18 minutes in. Tito has officially logged on. I'm buzzing on like my 4th cup of coffee. Was staying up late last night watching an overtime thriller in Athens.
Right.
More on that as the show continues. I think I did a good job of laying things out, but just in case you weren't listening or just joining us, and again, thank you for making us a little bit part of your Saturday that is going to be gorgeous. No rain or lightning. None of that. But maybe. So be prepared when you go out today, because you're going out today, right?
Yes.
We're going to make a day of this, kids. This is going to be such a great weekend. It already has been. Every sport you love is happening. Even the NFL is happening. Not games, but things.
Like these next few weeks.
Yeah.
Like every time we get to the season of a sport, People say, "Oh, is this the best month? Is this the best stretch?"
This is.
Like when we get to this
in October.
Okay, I forget about this time
until you're in it.
Season, right? And then I get here, it's like the weather's changing. You can watch games with windows open. You know what I mean? It's like you go outside, walk around. Whatever. Like you can enjoy things. Yeah. Sit outside on a patio and watch a game.
Even welcome strong men and women. Arnold Classic going on this weekend. They're doing the pump and run tomorrow. Our friends at M3S who've been partnering with us on the Fan 5K. David Babner is the wizard who puts all of that together. He's going to join us coming up here at 9:45. We're also going to have, you can call him an oracle, but Chad Patrick, Ya Highness, Shut Up and Bet, said last week that Ohio State, on this very program, on this show with Tim and DeVere, Ohio State, the men's basketball team, had a 96% chance to make the big dance. And then what did they do? They knock off number 8 Purdue, and then they body slam Penn State and Happy Valley.
He didn't even include winning the game last Sunday as part of that prediction.
Well, they did.
Yes.
They said, Ya Highness, we'll raise you one, maybe not raise him one.
Yeah.
Thank you for, I don't even know how to parlay that because I don't want to make the basketball Buckeyes sound like they're dopers.
No, it's
I'm not going to say much.
It's okay. He we had him on Juice Thursday.
He likes the.
Do you know what time he releases
the green?
He does a social.
He does
thing.
it at 4:20.
4:20 every single day. Yes,
also,
that's what he does.
Don't forget to set your clocks forward tonight.
Yeah.
I get extra sunlight, man.
I know, but I lose an hour of sleep.
It does affect you a little bit as you get older.
It affects me to have kids. You don't know that. When you have the kids.
I don't know if there's a when on that, brother.
There is.
For me.
No.
I don't know.
Do you guys have a dog?
I have a dog.
Okay, well, the dog might still want to get up at the same time.
That's true. Again, if this show is already off the rails and it's going to continue.
All we need is Carpenter.
4 cups of coffee down.
Off the rails.
He's probably got 50 different things he's doing today.
Yes, he is.
It was so funny. The last time we had him on, he did Bishop and Friends with me one day because Bo was off. And Bob pulls out these Ray-Bans that have the camera and a microphone in them. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do a radio hit with these.
Did he really?
He said he did.
Yeah.
He obviously didn't do while he was on the air here. He was speaking to the microphones.
Right.
But the fact that now they've got
that's pretty
sunglasses that you can just pop onto Sirius XM. We going to Max Crosby with this? Because I do wonder if this time last week we could have asked Ya Highness what are the chances that Max Crosby gets traded.
Right.
New league year in the NFL starts on Wednesday. Probably not going to play for the Raiders.
No, yeah.
The idea that they can get 2 first-round picks for him, though, from the Baltimore Ravens.
See, that's the part that hurts you and I.
Is wild.
Because I don't want the Steelers to have to face him twice a year. He's a wrecker, man. I don't. So, they got 2 first-round picks. That's great. Good for the Raiders on that one. Their organization's still a mess. I don't care what anyone says. But I don't like the idea of seeing Crosby twice a year.
No, those are the 3 teams in the AFC North. Their jobs just got harder.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be okay, though, when they face the Browns. Again, when the schedules come out later on in the spring, takes a few shots at Deshaun Watson. Because there's a chance. Look, the Browns did some more cap gymnastics yesterday, restructured his deal, converting a lot of that with $46 million, I think, into signing bonus. So they'll keep doing that for the next couple of years. I think they can cut him next year. If you want to, crack Deshaun Watson a couple times, I'd be all right with it.
How about Deshaun Watson doing a solid for the team?
You guys are complaining. I'm a Bengals fan. I've got to see Max Crosby, TJ Watt, and Myles Garrett twice a year every year.
That's fair.
Yeah. The Ravens had the 14th overall selection in 2026. They're sending that to Las Vegas, and they got their first-round pick in 2027. That's also going to the Raiders. The Ravens have never dealt first-round picks in a trade.
Really?
That's what ESPN's telling me.
They didn't trade when they had Jackson. That was their own pick when they picked Lamar Jackson at the end of the first round.
I'm pretty sure it marks the first time in the Ravens' 31-year existence they've used a first-round pick to trade for a veteran player.
Okay.
So ESPN says the biggest trade in franchise history.
First one to trade for a veteran player. They might have traded for Lamar Jackson in the draft, right?
You're saying it with such confidence, I'm going to believe you.
I think they traded back into the first round to get Jackson.
We'll have to look it up in the break. But the idea that Baltimore's making moves like that, if you're a Ravens fan,
the Ravens sent the 52nd second-round pick, the 125th round pick, and a second-round pick the following year for Lamar Jackson.
I guess I can just go home now. I'm done. Good night, everybody.
We got a busy show, man. Like, do you have things you have to do after the program today when we get off at noon?
I go back to the other job. Yeah. I'm only here. I got to go back and work a couple hours.
Did you see the tower cam? It's bright and sunny, man. You want to work in that?
Thank you for bringing that up. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Very thoughtful
maybe
of you.
Go to the Arnold and do some strongman events.
I did that last year. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't do it. I've never been to the Arnold.
How many times could you bench press your weight?
My own weight?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I better be a spotter, and it might not make it to 1. Dude, I'm 230 pounds.
Okay.
Last time I lifted a weight?
I mean, there's combine numbers, brother.
I'm telling
225?
225. Okay, maybe I can do 225. No way, I do 230.
With the spotter, I bet you could.
I don't know about that. The spotter better have big muscles.
But we had the NHL's trade deadline yesterday, and it was, I'd say, uneventful.
Yeah.
The NFL had the biggest trade of the day. Probably the biggest trade of the year. I mean, we're only a couple months in, but.
See, I'm not, I'm obviously diehard Blue Jackets, but as far as other teams and what their needs are and things like that, and some of the players that got shopped around, I don't know much about them.
Yeah.
So I don't know how excited or how big of a deal those things are, but I'm just glad that the Jackets, they were not sellers.
No, honestly, I think for the NHL's trade deadline, the biggest stories were who wasn't dealt.
Yeah.
Sergei Bobrovsky didn't move from Florida. The Rangers couldn't get what they wanted for Vincent Trocheck. We had Aaron Portzline on the show yesterday, and we're like, give us a big name that you could see moved. And it was like, just throw a name out there, and he threw out Brady Tkachuk.
Okay.
And it was like that. That both Ryan Baker and I were like, that would be big, but the Senators did not move him. Yeah, for the Jackets, you have 4 players with expiring contracts that you thought like maybe. When Boone Jenner was unavailable earlier in the week, I had thought maybe.
Yeah.
But Don Waddell came out and said that was just lower body injury that he had suffered. So Boone, Mason Marchment, Eric Goodbranson, Charlie Coyle, all on expiring deals. But the Athletic said Waddell, actually this is Don Waddell, Jackets general manager, said he met with each of those guys during the Olympic break and assured them they wouldn't be traded even without new contracts.
Oh, okay.
So it does feel like they're going to be getting deals with those players done sometime this offseason, because right now the Jackets have an opportunity to get 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Taking on the Utah Mammoth tonight in a game you can't hear on the Fan because we'll have Buckeye basketball. Then they've got the Los Angeles Kings in town Monday at 4 o'clock.
Monday at 4 o'clock.
I love a good matinee hockey game.
Yeah, me too.
That also will not be on the Fan, but Dylan Tyrer from the Blue Jackets Radio Network is going to join us to preview those 2 games. Marchment, we're still waiting to see, likely a game time decision. Zach Werenski, probably learn more at morning skate.
Yeah.
If, in fact, players decide to do morning skate because they've just been so busy. I think Waddell's done a really good job. Rick Bowness has done a really good job of just keeping the guys off the ice, only on the ice when needed. The Jackets have won like almost 3 times as many of their games without Zach.
Isn't that amazing?
In the lineup.
Yeah.
Like 6-2, I think the record is.
It's amazing.
Which is incredible. So it was a good job out of Rick Bowness and Don Waddell. The goal at the deadline, make your team better. Blue Jackets, if they can get healthy with Marchment, if they can get Zach feeling better. I don't know what kind of an illness takes a player like Zach Werenski out for 3 games.
I don't either. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to know.
Is it mono? I don't know. Like something like that, I don't know what it could be. But one of the big keys for the Jackets down the stretch is going to be the hopefully continued improving play of Elvis.
Yeah. It was so funny to see this week. People thought they were moving him.
Yeah, there's no way they were moving him. No.
It was like maybe a month and a half ago, I finally realized, and this was during the bonus bump, because they're 12-2-1 with him behind the bench.
Yeah.
I was like, they're going to roll with 2 goalies, and they've been really good with it. Like, you've seen great play out of Elvis. You've seen really good play out of Jet Greaves. And so this factors to be the theme. I mean, Marchment comes in not Marchment. If Marchment's healthy, he'll slide back into the lineup, but Garland, who they acquired from Vancouver yesterday, slides into the lineup probably tonight against the Mammoth, and the team that's playing well is now better.
They
in
are.
my opinion.
Yes, they are. The thing with Elvis is it's just such a difference in his confidence and performance as when they made the coaching change, which I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know what changed, or if it's just Merzlinka's side, I got a clean slate. I'm going to put more into it.
Yeah.
Or if something is different about the way he is coached, the way he's communicated with, if that's what changed, I have no idea. But it's a night and day difference from last year's Elvis. Yeah. Even earlier this season, Elvis.
There are several guys that have definitely benefited from the bonus bump in terms of their play and kind of how they're handled. I'm interested to see with injuries, opportunity comes to guys like Kent Johnson.
Yeah.
And I'm really hopeful that he can get it turned around, because it didn't feel like as you were coming up on the trade deadline, maybe he would have been a piece in a deal if it was available.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the fact that Don Waddell, if you didn't need to make a move on a lot of these guys, you don't. If you can't find the exact right thing to make your team better, you don't. And he's been, I think, really good at consecutive deadlines handling it. But Johnson, maybe not with the team next season if he can't turn things around. And you're getting opportunities now with guys out of the lineup.
Yeah.
So players have benefited, but also players have been given opportunities. And so you hope for them, and I speak mostly to Johnson here, that he makes the most of it. 12 points for Bruce Thornton. Can he get it done tonight against Indiana? That's in 2 minutes. Bishop Fan Sports Saturday on the Fan.
The Reds are on the radio.
And he caught it. No way. What a grab. Noel V. Marte. Kelly De La Cruz is on his horse, and they're waving him to the house.
Suarez swings. He drives this.
It is gone. Eugenio Suarez puts the Reds on top.
With an old friend back in the clubhouse, it's time for spring training baseball. Hear the action on your home of the Reds.
Ah, college. A time to broaden the mind, question, learn. A time to challenge the status quo. And eat a ridiculous amount of pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of The Ohio State University and the unofficial bank of pizza. Let's go Bucks! Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
Menards 11% rebate is here. From lighting to lumber, from doors to floors. The bigger the project, the bigger the rebate. From painting projects to that new kitchen makeover and designing that outdoor space of your dreams. Save big on any project you're tackling. Hurry into Menards for an 11% rebate on everything. Mail-in rebate is a merchandise credit check, not a point of sale discount. Redeemable on future in-store purchases only. Not on future purchases on Menards.com. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Rieser, Tito, Nate with you. While we are super annoying, we're super local.
Yes.
And so we think that makes up for it. And I don't know if you heard the almost Freudian slip there at the end of the last segment. This is Sports Saturday on the Fan.
Honestly,
this isn't.
I took it as offense.
I don't mean to offend.
No, it's okay.
I don't mean to offend you.
I'm letting it go already.
I don't mean to offend the listeners, and sometimes I do. Not of my own doing, but just how I sound
Just how
normally.
you are, yeah.
This is offensive. Clip
Right.
goes the radio. Bruce Thornton needs 12 points to become Ohio State's all-time leading scorer. Dennis Hobson's got the record, has had the record for a
I think 86, 87 was his last year.
longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
And Bruce this season has just been climbing up the ranks. And I think he had 18 the other night in their win at Penn State.
Right.
Probably going to get the record tonight.
He
probably going to will this team into the NCAA tournament. And he's had the proper help that we were saying before the season he was going to need if this team was going to make it into March, meaningfully into March.
Yeah.
You got performances out of Junie Mobley that I understand the frustration with the fan base with this team because it's been so damn frustrating at times because I think at the beginning of the year, what they showed against Purdue, what they showed against Penn State,
right?
It's like, where has this been? Because you look back and there's games like Iowa.
Okay. Can you, though, now in hindsight, can Buckeye fans look back and realize how much different this team was from last year's team? So you have to get some kind of, you have to mold the team a little bit there. You have to gel as a team, and the fact that they've had so many injuries this year. So I'm not saying people have a right to be upset about the way the season was going before, but I think that this is more of what the team is capable of now, which is why I've said all along that I think they've got the potential to be a Sweet 16 team.
Joe Lunardi's bracketology has 10 Big Ten teams in the Big Dance. Ohio State, one of the last 4 byes. Indiana, one of the last 4 in.
Okay.
Hoosiers are good. Hoosiers are big. Hoosiers will be desperate.
Yes. Look, it's not Ohio State's favorite, I think, 4.5. And I've seen it 5.5 also, but it's it's not like it's a definite blowout win for Ohio State by any measure.
No, I think with what you saw at Penn State the other night, you had all 5 Buckeyes in double figures. I love how Ivan Yagovin's come along this season. We talked about the Blue Jackets and the opportunities provided when players get injured. With Brandon Knoll out of the lineup since January 5th, you've had to rely more on Yagovin, and he's answered the bell, and he's gotten better as the season's gone on. And Amari Bynum has been an incredible addition to this program, and he's only a freshman.
I know.
And so I think to have him, Christoph Tilley's played better. I saw one bracketology. It might have been CBS that had him playing Santa Clara.
Okay.
The first round of the NCAA. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But with the size that I had been a problem back in January has really come along. They've gotten contributions off the bench. Gabe Cupps probably isn't allowed to shoot the basketball, which is fine because everything else he's done has been really good. And he's playing with I almost said a bad word. He's playing with a lot of effort. He's playing his ass off.
Okay, you can say hell and ass on this show.
Well, I was going to use the S word.
Okay. But is he the one that all the memes are floating around about? He's got more fouls than points this year?
Yeah, I think he's got more fouls this season.
More fouls than points, yeah. But you're right. He does contribute in other ways.
It's almost the thing, not necessarily. If you remember, I know you remember Mark Titus.
Yeah.
But he would go for a trillion.
Yes.
Where he would go for a ton of minutes but record nothing.
Right.
Almost Gabe Cupps.
Yeah.
But I don't know where the zeros end and the fouls and the turnovers are because it was a ton of minutes, some fouls, some turnovers, no points.
Yeah. But it's, and this is not, when you say no disrespect, I know what that means. No disrespect to Cupps. When they're fully healthy, he won't have to play as much.
No. Which
isn't a bad thing.
And I wonder, I think Puff Johnson, now that everything is settled.
Have they said what it is?
I haven't seen anything official. I think it's lower body.
Well, he was in a walking boot.
Yeah.
And they said it was an Achilles injury. But they didn't say if it was just like a strain or a tear.
Well, good thing we've got Adam Jardy coming on at 10:30.
Yes, that's right. That's the right guy
we can ask him about that. But I think they have plans for him.
Yeah.
When he regains his health. Similarly for Brandon Knoll, who now is day to day. Like there's the official designation for Knoll gave me confidence that they'll at least sprinkle him in today and then have him ready to go next week in the Big Ten tournament. I don't know if you necessarily want to change up a lot of the chemistry that's been working for this team. But he's going to be an important piece if you want to do, as you say, make a Sweet 16 run. You need everybody in on this because you can't have the short bench, or you can't have no bench in the NCAA tournament.
Well, you certainly need bench, though, for the Big Ten tournament because you're playing a game every day. Whereas in the NCAA tournament, you get a day off.
Yeah, it's true.
This one, it's a tougher grind as far as I'm concerned. If you've got to go through, especially the Big Ten being as stacked as it is, that when you've got to go back to back to back to back to back on the games, depending where your seat is. But that's why, for me, the double bye is so important for Ohio State.
Yeah. Yeah, you need the time. Everybody.
Yeah.
And it's, everybody's dealing with something.
Yeah.
At this time of the season with how long things have been for this team. This is an interesting stat from CBS Sports. There are only 22 high major scholarship players who are going to celebrate a senior night this week, having played at just one place.
Isn't that amazing?
There was one player from the SEC. That was Mississippi State's Sean Jones. There are 10 from the Big Ten.
Right.
Bruce Thornton is one of those 10.
Aren't there like a couple of Michigan State?
Handful of Michigan State, a couple guys from Purdue that have only played at one place and celebrating senior day or senior night this week at that one place. And Bruce is going to have a bobblehead for the first 2,000 fans in attendance. So get there early. Make this place tough for Indiana. Schottenstein Center is difficult.
It is.
We've talked about it ad nauseum.
Yes.
But I think it's very important. And Ohio State did the job. Last time you saw them, they took down number 8 Purdue. So if everybody can get together on this, you send Bruce into March the right way. You send him to the Big Ten tournament in the right way. And then come what may.
And just think about what great publicity would be for Ohio State if they get in. Because
there's so much program momentum you can build and carry.
And CBS is going to focus a lot on Bruce Thornton as far as like what a story. This guy became the leading scorer at Ohio State, stayed there his entire career, and first time in the NCAA tournament. There'll be a lot of things like that'll get a lot of play in the media. And if they could somehow go into the tournament and win a game, maybe even 2, then that would be a significant boost, I would think, to the image of Ohio State basketball.
Certainly. So 5:30 for the tip today at the Schottenstein Center. We'll have pregame coverage on the Fan at 4:30. Big, and I mean literally big test for Kevin McGuff and company against the second-ranked UCLA Bruins in the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament. 2 o'clock's going to be the tip from the Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. Tyler Denberg's going to have the call over on the Fan too. I was trying to see if we could make it work for him this morning. I will still see if we can effort Mr. Danberg in the next couple of hours here, but it's so important, I thought, that this team goes into the Big Ten tournament having won their last game, and then you've stacked 3 in a row. Because it was really close. I think they lost 3 of 4 before that win against Michigan State at the end of the season. And you talk about momentum and how important it is this time of the year. You're going to need to play a great defensive performance, as Nate said earlier in the program, and your players are going to have to. You're going to have to get more scoring from just Jelani Cambridge.
Yes.
To beat UCLA would be huge for the program.
I think that the win over Minnesota last night was nip and tuck. It was tight till the end of the game.
60-55 the final.
Yeah, and so which might be good for Ohio State. Just get tested a little bit like that. Yeah. But they've got great depth this year. It's just they've got to do a lot of things very well to beat a team like UCLA. But we say it about every time when Ohio State plays a team like UCLA or UConn or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's like they got to play a really good game to beat that team.
Also in the NBA, you had Jason Tatum back for the Boston Celtics last night. It really does point to science, first off. You come back, 10 months?
10 months.
After tearing your Achilles. They beat the Mavericks 120-100, and they've got a huge... I looked at this matchup between the Cavs and the Celtics tomorrow at 1 o'clock a couple months ago, and I was like, that'll be whatever. He's not going to have Jason Tatum, but Jaylen Brown's really carried that Celtics squad, and he will be carrying them with Jason Tatum into Cleveland tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I think Donovan Mitchell's still a game. He's out. All right, so now I'm just seeing Donovan Mitchell with the groin injury that's hampered him for the past 2 weeks. Will be out for this game, but a huge one tomorrow in Cleveland. I have now put the Cavs back into Eastern Conference contention. Win the Eastern Conference is my message to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I looked at FanDuel this morning. The Boston Celtics have the best odds.
Yeah, they do.
And it's the Cavs, then it's the Knicks. I don't think the Detroit Pistons are quite there yet in terms of still a young team. JB Bickerstaff still trying to figure things. I'm not sure if JB's the guy that can get you over it.
I think he can get you there.
He can get you there.
Right.
It showed in Cleveland. I think that Kenny Atkinson's the guy that will be able to get them over it, and there's been no better time to win the East.
True.
Now here comes Tatum and the Celtics.
I watched that game, most of that game last night.
Yeah.
And the energy the team seemed to have and the fans feeding off him. It's out there. The first time he scored, and then he scored on a dunk. And then
they said minutes restriction. He played almost 30 minutes. He played, 28 minutes?
No, they said there's no minutes restriction. Before the game, they said he's going to start, and he has no minutes restriction. So I was surprised by the fact he was starting and the fact there was no restriction.
That's
nuts. I'm with you. I question it also. But yeah, he had a dunk and then came down and hit a 3. People were going nuts. It was because Dallas was up early in that game, and then the Celtics took over in the second quarter and ended up winning.
I'll have to find it. They charted NBA Achilles injuries over the last 20 years, and Jason Tatum's right up there with shortest time from injury to return.
Because didn't Durant and Kawhi Leonard take forever to come back?
Those are near the lower point of that.
They were forever.
Those guys are made of glass, though. So I'll try to find. I think it was Tom Haberstroh of Yahoo Sports that had that. So I'll try to get that throughout the show. But we've mentioned it. If you've been outside this, you can smell it. You can feel the spring in the air. Like winter's done. Put it in a box.
Yeah.
I said that the other day on the Bishop and Friends with as much confidence as I said the Guardians would not lose a game in Cactus League play,
right.
And they went 3 for 3 and 9.
Right.
The Guardians are trash right now in Cactus League play, but it doesn't matter because everybody's focused on the World Baseball Classic. But we're in spring, kids. David Babner has been a great partner to the Fan. We did 971 the race last year. We're doing it again at Otterbein University this year, but it's the Fan 5K. It sounds a little better.
Yeah.
It's a little easier to say.
Yeah.
They've got a busy weekend at the Arnold Classic. We're excited to tell you about all of that coming up next. Sports Saturday on the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Spring is right around the corner, and if you're like me, I bet you're excited for warmer weather. But as temperatures rise, make sure your energy bills don't. Keep those cooling costs low with Window Nation's high-quality, energy-efficient products. Simply request a consultation where the experts will visit your home, spot problem areas, and make recommendations. Then they'll install your customized windows in just a day. With Window Nation windows, your home will be shielded from outside hot air while you remain cool and comfortable inside throughout the spring and summer. Window Nation's going to have your house looking great, and you'll also have peace of mind. Did you know all of Window Nation's products are backed by a lifetime warranty? It's true. There's no better time than now to upgrade your home with Window Nation. In March, the more you buy, the more savings you can enjoy. Up to 50% off all window styles. Yeah, 50% off. Plus, Window Nation's got some great financing options, including $0 down and payments as little as $199 a month. Visit windownation.com for your free consultation today. That's windownation.com.
Fall is the season of change, and Hinderer Motor Company is turning over a new leaf with big savings. This is Justin Hinderer. Right now, any one of our participating locations is paying up to $3,500 over Kelley Blue Book value. That's right. Drive in your current vehicle and leave with one of ours today. Don't wait. The leaves are falling and so are the prices. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
It's March. Send it in, big fella. That means the greatest sports weekend of the year is coming, and the best place to set the puppies and watch the tournament is at Hollywood Casino Columbus. I'm Scotty Vegas, and Thursday through Sunday opening weekend, kiss the kids goodbye and hang out from noon to 5 with the fan at the Hollywood Casino Sportsbook. A Bill Raftery impersonation contest, free throw games, free shirts, and more. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-589-9966. Onions!
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Take your shot to save at Great Lakes Hyundai. Shoot the hoop to get extra savings on your new car purchase. On top of big shot savings like 0% financing on 26 Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucson's for up to 5 years. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. It's the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Dublin or Columbus or GLakesHyundai.com. With proof credit, some customers may not qualify. Interest accrues during no payment period. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's Best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Offer ends 3/31.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thidoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
The Fan.
Springtime is here, and you know what that means? It's time for Mulch Madness. Did you know that too much mulch is bad for trees and shrubs? 2 inches of mulch is plenty. Any more and you risk causing roots to grow up and around trunks, which increases unhealthy stress, shortens tree life, and even keeps moisture from getting down to tree roots. To find out more about Mulch Madness or to find a certified arborist near you, visit treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven. I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Coffee, iced cap, refreshers. Tim Hortons has all your favorite beverages. And now you can get your favorite bite for less. When you buy any size beverage, add a baked daily donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. So next time you order your favorite Tim's beverage, add something that satisfies your cravings and your wallet. The $1, $2, $3 menu. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, you are, Rieser and Tito, and they say that Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year, and I might take exception. If you've been outside today, You can smell it. You can feel it. You can almost taste it. It's spring, kids.
You only got, we got heard in the chat there, we only got a little bit of time to really enjoy it, though. Thunderstorms kick up about 2 o'clock.
Nope, not hearing that.
I'm telling you.
Nope. We're putting good thoughts in the
There's
universe.
only a 98% chance of thunderstorms starting at 2 o'clock.
Okay, well.
So there's 2% chance you'll be okay.
So now until 2, get your honeydew list done.
No, honey,
it looks
don't.
like.
Just
careful,
Jeffrey.
No,
I'm telling you, don't do that. And then you have to just say, I'll do it later on this afternoon. If your wife doesn't know the forecast, okay, you can just keep putting it off, and then
Well, here's the thing. If it's going to happen after 2 o'clock, I think you'd be a little more pressed to find yourself in front of a television for Bruce Thornton's final game at the Schottenstein Center. Ohio State, Indiana at 5:30. Pregame coverage on the Fan at 4:30. So you can be indoors for that while it's raining around you. It's supposed to be a gorgeous day in the capital city tomorrow. All weekend, you see some strong people walking around town. It's that time of the year, the Arnold Classic. And of the hundreds of events, some of the really cool things that are done at the Arnold is the Pump and Run, the Arnold 5K,
right,
and new for this year, the Arnold Ruck. And the man that puts all this together, along with Arnold Schwarzenegger, is our great friend David Babner of M3S Sports and the wizard of the Cap City Half Marathon. But it's so good to see you.
Yeah, well, it's great to see you guys, too. It's awesome to be here. Thanks for having me. I was driving down High Street this morning. I was dropping one of my sons off at the convention center. And to see the amount of people and the amount of excitement and what's going on, and as you mentioned, it's a beautiful day outside. To see them all going into the convention center for one of the largest multi-sport fitness festival in the entire world. I got a chance to walk through there yesterday to see everybody. It's incredible what they put on. Brent Lalonde and the whole team over there with Arnold do a remarkable job of that, and we're so proud to collaborate with them. This is our first year collaborating on this. They've had this race for a number of years, and as you know, we do a number of races in Columbus with a bunch of sports teams, whether it be the Blue Jackets or the Memorial Tournament or Ohio State, or with you guys, what we're going to do again in June. It's like, hey, this makes some sense for us to get together with. And rucking is a logical extension to what's going on there. So,
Tito, have you ever rucked before? Do you know what that is?
I've heard this. Like when I was in the Army, we carried a rucksack.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what it's carrying something. Then it's like you're carrying something with you.
That's exactly what it is. It's a rucksack, and now it's a sport.
Okay.
So for this one, introduction, you've got to have at least 15 pounds in your rucksack, but we've partnered with GoRuck. So GoRuck is the ones that, if you look at their website, you look what GoRuck does, they are the ones that produce the rucksacks.
Okay.
And then they have weight plates you can put in there.
Yes.
So some people will put up to 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds in the rucksack.
Right.
And walk. And it builds not only cardiovascular, but strength as well. So if you put that, it gives you a little extra. It makes it harder.
It's
to
a
walk.
workout.
It's a workout.
Okay, so my wife said, "Hey, let's get a rucksack and we'll use it when we walk." Or whatever.
Yes.
So she bought one. It was pink, and I felt weird walking around the neighborhood with a pink rucksack. So I put a jacket on over top when I do it, but I do it sometimes.
Well, you should. And if you walk around, if you go around the neighborhoods now, you see a lot of people doing it.
Oh yeah,
there's ruck clubs all over the city.
So we're starting to add them to our events, and this was a logical opportunity to do it right out of the gate. So this is the first event we've got a real rucking division.
Right.
And of the 3,000 people that are going to participate,
oh my goodness,
like 300 or 400 people of them are going to be wearing rucksacks tomorrow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the Pump and Run 5K always sells out.
Yeah.
That thing's such an incredible event. And I mean, you guys put on so many M3S Sports. .com for everything. You talked about, what we're going to be doing at Otterbein in June again for the Fan 5K, the Ohio State 4-miler that's coming up the week before the spring game on April 12th, the Crooked Shillelagh. You guys will run around Jack's Place for the Memorial Tournament. I mean, it's like from here until even past July when you guys will be at the Columbus Zoo. Every month, something different to do it. Everything's unique.
It is. And what we wanted to do, we've got 12 different race concepts in Columbus. Columbus is the best running and walking community in the entire country. So what we did when we launched M3S Sports, how do we make running relevant with stick and ball sports? We're a great, look at the weekend we have between the Crew and the Arnold and what's going on with the Blue Jackets this weekend and the Ohio State game. And it's an amazing sports town. So that's what we want to do, is create some unique things to introduce people to fitness, introduce people to running, walking, now rucking. And you mentioned the Pump and Run. That's amazing. 1,250 people signed up. That we sold that out. They will start lining up at 6:30 tomorrow morning at the convention center. They will bench press, depending on how old you are. If you're under 40, you're going to bench press 100% of your weight. And you can bet if you can do up to 30 reps. Each rep takes off 30 seconds.
If you were 54 years old and you wore a shirt today that accentuates your man boobs, what would you expect me to bench?
Well, I don't know how much you weigh. How much?
230 pounds.
230
You could do 230 once if you had a spotter. I have faith in you.
I'd have no faith in myself.
Well, that's where it's got to start.
Well, but you're older, so I think now you start to resemble my age. You're about 80% of your body weight.
Okay. Might be able to get behind that.
Yeah, so you do that.
I believe in you. We'll have to get you out there next year.
Yes.
So we'll ruck now. And then by this time next year, you can pump and run.
This segment has had me dangerously close to the dump button.
That's ruck quite a bit. I know. I hear you. Yes.
You got to be careful.
We said
That's
ruck
what we
and
have you
boobs.
for.
Yes, that's why you're here.
We got 3 bullets in the chamber, what we like to say. If you say it once, we'll get you. We'll try not to swear too much.
It's amazing how many events you guys have. Like, do you know what the number is overall at the Arnold? Because it seems like every year you guys are adding some new events and things like that. There's like everything there.
Oh, it's amazing. The Arnold, the folks that organized that, between Arnold and the guys and Brent Lalonde and the whole team, Eric Archibald's over there running around too. There's hundreds of events. I was there Thursday when they were setting up. I saw some of the bodybuilding pre-judging yesterday.
So much self-tanner.
Because Sam Sulik, the kid from Delaware, who's become the YouTube sensation.
He's from Columbus?
He's from Columbus.
I did not know that. Okay.
So, and it was amazing to walk around with 2 21-year-olds yesterday in the convention center. They saw all these YouTube bodybuilding stars who I had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
And Brent said, yeah, these guys are legit. Millions of followers, unbelievable guys. And they're very personable. They're shaking hands and talking to kids. And then I saw kids participating in clean and jerk competitions, all kinds of stuff. Just weightlifting like they do travel soccer. Parents travel them around and they're doing lifting. And the world's strongest people are there lifting crazy stuff. I saw one lady was attempting to do 600-pound deadlift.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, boy, and people are watching, and the amount of enthusiasm and is just crazy over there. So it's exciting, and for us to be, it's an honor to collaborate with Arnold and the whole team, and he'll be at the start line with me tomorrow. So race kicks off at 10:30, 10:20. Arnold will come up on the stage, say a few words. We'll get everybody rocking and rolling. And you did mention, the amount of sports, the amount of events we do with sports teams. The Greater Columbus Sports Commission actually brought you guys the medal rack. I'm going to leave it for you. So the Greater Columbus Sports Commission, we launched it this year, the M3S Sports Series Challenge. If you did the Columbus Blue Jackets 5K that we did on February 1st, which is a lot colder than what it's going to be tomorrow.
Yes.
You do Arnold tomorrow, then you do Ohio State on April 12th, then you go to Jack's Place. We'll do that May 28th, and then you do the Clippers in September. All 5 of those, you get this medal rack to proudly display your medals from those challenges.
That's awesome.
So at those events, each one of them has such a unique piece to it. Can we keep you around for the next segment?
Absolutely.
All righty. We will come back because you talked about the teams that you work with, the unique experiences. The idea that our old Cowtown has all of this to offer is something that I want to keep talking about as we think of spring. Spring for the Ohio State Buckeyes starts next Tuesday. That'll also be next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Get Eco. ECO. When your drain is clogged, our drain team will clear it for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it will stay clear for at least a year, or we'll clear it again for free. Get Eco. ECO.
Go to geteco.com.
At Newman Roofing, we believe every detail matters, which is why we have over 1,000 5-star Google reviews from families all across Central Ohio who have put their trust in Newman Roofing for their roofing, siding, and gutter projects. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Tell Good RX Road and hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hotfoot it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment
on any 4-tire purchase.
And Goodyear's up to $160 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Goodyear's and save up to $160 more. See store for details.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at all 4 Coghlan Kia locations. Get 0% plus no payments for 90 days on select new Kia Sorentos, Sportages, and Tellurides. Or buy a new 2026 Kia K4 for $279 a month. Visit CoglanKia.com.
0% APR available for 48 months on select in-stock units. 90-day deferred payments. 5 for $279 per month for 84 months at 5.99% APR with approved credit through Kia Finance. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/26.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Nate Puderball with your sports update. Last night in college basketball, Miami of Ohio completed the perfect regular season. The 19th ranked Redhawks knocked off the Ohio Bobcats 110-108 in overtime on the back of Ian Elmer's career-high 32 points. They finished the regular season 31-0. It's a busy day for Ohio State hoops. The 11th ranked OSU women's team is in the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament. They take on top seed UCLA today at 2 o'clock. Coverage begins at 1:45 on the Fan 2. The OSU men's team wraps up the regular season today at the Shot. They take on the 18-12 Indiana Hoosiers today at 5:30. Fan coverage begins at 4:30. The CBJ continue the homestand tonight. They look to make it 4 straight wins as they take on the Utah Mammoth at 7 o'clock. The Blue Jackets sit just 1 point back of the Boston Bruins for the final wildcard spot. And in NFL news, the Baltimore Ravens acquire 5-time Pro Bowl defensive end Max Crosby from the LA Raiders. Breaking sports news, what happens to the Fan? Ohio Sports Destination.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yeah, I still kind of can't wrap my head around Max Crosby being a Baltimore Raven. That's not great. You know, I think to Myles Garrett, who I'm not sure he should still have a license. But if the Ravens were able to get 2 first-round picks for Crosby, who's 28, what could maybe the Browns have gotten for Myles Garrett? It's on the other side of 30. It's sports old. But Browns aren't winning anything anytime soon. Neither are the Raiders, and the Raiders recognize that. They cut Geno Smith earlier in the week because, remember, people wrote him off, and he didn't write back. Well, now the letters are starting to come in.
Oh, sure, yeah. He had his lowest QBR since 2017 in a full season.
Not great. But
not a good season for
the Raiders are recognizing, like, hey, let's tear this thing down to the studs, and Browns are being a little stubborn.
They should trade Garrett. They should trade Garrett.
They should have. They can't now. Not in my opinion.
Why can't they trade him now?
I just think their ask for him would be more than the 2 first-round picks that the Raiders just got, and his contract is with an athlete on the other side of 30 makes it extremely difficult, and they're stubborn, and they need a star to sell tickets when they open up the new stadium.
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson's not selling tickets.
No.
We are thrilled to still be joined by our friend David Babner of M3S, the race director of the Cap City Half Marathon, and what's so cool about weekends in Columbus when the weather gets nice is there's something for everybody. And we talked about the Arnold Pump and Run tomorrow morning outside the Greater Columbus Convention Center, the Arnold 5K. If you're driving around town starting this afternoon into tomorrow, just be patient and careful.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just going to be nuts.
Oh, yeah.
To try to get around everything with the Arnold Expo going on. The Columbus Blue Jackets have the Utah Mammoth tonight at 7. That game won't be on the Fan. And then the Crew have their season opening game, or their home opener, I should say, at Scott's Miracle Grove Field. It's going to take a minute for me to get that right. And then when we start to think spring, the World Baseball Classic's going on, you start to look at Huntington Park and you go, hey, what's up? When are you opening?
You're right.
I love a good baseball's my favorite thing to go see live.
Especially that, too.
It's such an intimate stadium.
It is.
They did a wonderful job with Huntington Park.
Easy in and out of there.
$5 a ticket.
Yeah.
I'm so happy we're getting closer. And really with M3S and the job, David, that you guys do, and you talk about Eric and Shannon and just the steps they get on weekends like this, I cannot imagine. And the work that you guys put in is so cool. And the Columbus Clippers 5K, I mean, I know we're looking, that's in September, but really the one thing that I love about all of your events is they have, a special destination to them.
Well, and that was the vision when we first started to do these collaborations. It started with the NHL when the NHL All-Star Game came to town. The Blue Jackets said, the NHL sometimes does a 5K around these events. And they said, would you like to be part of that? I said, of course I would. And that's what the that's how the Fifth Line 5K started. And the cool part of that is you line up outside of Nationwide, you've got a great 5K course, and you finish on center ice.
Yeah.
The second one of those we did, back when Learfield was IMG and dealing with the folks
back
over
in
at
the
Ohio
day.
State
Yes.
Athletics,
Yep.
and that whole team said, they said, would you be interested in doing a run or a walk that finishes on the 50-yard line? So I said, absolutely. I think that'd be great. Or they said, would you around the stadium? And I said, as long as I can finish on the 50-yard line, and they can run down the tunnel, and they can be athletes. Because what we try to do at M3S is encourage these folks, hey, come on out, be part of it. You can run, you can walk, and then have the athletes that you cheer on the weekend come be part of cheering you on. So you see it with some of the Blue Jackets folks are out there. Steve Mears is out there, comes out, cheers everybody on. We've had Jared Bowl. We've had other coaches. Rick Nash has been there in the past. And then with Ohio State, Joshua Perry joined me this year up on the stage, and Bobby Carpenter, the whole crew of Buckeye greats, former Buckeye greats. But now with NIL, we can bring the football team out. We bring the women's hockey team out. We bring the women's volleyball team out, giving high fives and things on the field. Then after that, we'll do the same thing. Now, Arnold's a new ad this year. We'll have Arnold out there. Same concept. Then you get to go finish in the convention center, right? You get to go walk through that. Memorial tournament, we'll do that, finish on the 18th green, and then finish on home plate with the Clippers. So it's a pretty cool little finish in the stadium series, as I call it. And it gets having people that may be just Blue Jackets fans and say, oh, well, maybe I can do that. Or the Ohio State fans, maybe I can do that. Something that gets them maybe committed to running, maybe committed to walking, committed to rucking. Come on out, be part of something. Start living that healthy, active lifestyle. We'll celebrate you at the finish line. We'll put on this huge celebration for you. And then once you're kind of in this M3S circle, and the M3S brand continues to grow, how do we get you to come participate in the Ohio Health Capital City Half Marathon? You may do the 5K the first year, see 12,000 people, and all the DJs and the music and the bands and the North to Nashville concert and the craziness, Jets Pizza at the finish line, everything going on in our Margaritaville area, the best tour of Columbus on 2 feet. You do the 5K, and then maybe you do the quarter marathon the next time. Then the next year you come do the half marathon. Now that was fun. So now we're going to, in Grandview Yard, the Ohio Health Grandview Yard is a half and a quarter marathon as well. We'll do that in August. And same thing with you guys. When we met with you, Eric, and I know it was you and T-Bone kind of said, hey, what if we did something to get our listeners healthy and active and out there, but make it fun? And there's the Fan 5K. Second annual one we'll do out at Otterbein, June 20th. So,
it was so cool to be in meetings with you guys talking about how we can make it better than it was last year. Because when this idea kind of came up, my biggest thing was we just have to get it. We just have to get one done.
Yes.
And we had about 1,000 people at Otterbein last year, 700 participants, 3 races that you can choose from. This year, it's the Fan 5K. We're so excited to do it again on June 20th. An 8 a.m. start from Otterbein in Westerville. A gorgeous a gorgeous place, an incredible run, an incredible experience. We'll all be there. We'll do a live show after the thing. I want to just double back to the 4-miler real quick because, spring for me, and yeah, we're having a little bit of fun, talking about the weather and how it's never going to be cold again. And you might get some in March, but really for Columbus and Central Ohio and growing up here, the official start of spring is the Ohio State spring game. And you guys, I think in your 13th year for the 4-miler, really are one of the cooler events surrounding that really cool Welcome to Spring event. And I can't say this enough that finishing on the 50 in the cathedral of college football is one of the cooler experiences you can have. And I know for Ryan Day, they're about to start spring ball on Tuesday. Really one of his emphasis points for newer players is getting them into the arena and playing in front of those fans. And this is as close as you're going to get to do that with the 4-miler on April 12th.
It's unbelievable. That event started, we were in the fall. When Urban was the coach, we sort of did that in the fall, and we did it on a bye weekend or an away weekend, and it was great. It was 15,000 people. What we wanted to do is now bring it to the spring. Ohio State said, let's try to make it part of this whole spring celebration. Yeah. So this year, the race will be on the 12th. The spring game will be on the 18th, I believe. So it's the next weekend. Yep. So now we're going to have it stand alone that weekend. So it'll have the focus will be on the 4-miler. I know you guys will be out there. We'll have a huge celebration in the parking lot afterwards. We'll have all those athletes out there. An unbelievable 4-mile course that goes through campus and finish. Big shout out to everybody over at Ohio State for allowing us, and the police department over there for allowing us to do the course that we do. And then, like you said, it's amazing to me, 13 years standing down there, standing on the finish line and watching the athletes' faces as they come down the tunnel.
You can see yourself on the screen in the south stands.
And then the kids, we've got the kids run too. And when they come through, and all the football players are high-fiving them, and the ladies hockey team's high-fiving them, and it's an amazing experience for anybody. I would strongly encourage those. If you've never done the Ohio State 4-miler before, that's a bucket list item you need to do.
Go ahead. I was saying, when you looked at the beginning of that, and did you think it would grow the way it has? Are you surprised how much it's grown? How much the 4-miler has grown to what it is?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, one of our goals was to try to make Columbus one of the best running and walking communities in all of the country. And I think over the past 25 years in doing this, we've had something to do with the growth of that running and walking community. If you just see how many people are out getting active. So we figured with an M3S database as big as it is, with the size of Buckeye Nation, if we could pull this together and make the experience remarkable, it could be very successful. But I will tell you, the first time I met Urban and Shelley Meyer, because I had to go through this is who I am, this is what we're doing, and Ray DeWeese over at IMG back in the day, it was, hey, if we do this right, we may be able to get 2,000 people there. I told our operations team, I said, we will do 8,000 people in the first year, and it's been as big as 16,000 people. And it is the largest 4-mile event in the entire country.
M3SSports.com for all of the race details for registration. So you have the 4-miler on April 12th. You have the Fan 5K on June 20th. Sandwiched in between that, the Cap City Half Marathon, but also the 4-miler, which you'll do out at Jack's Place at Muirfield Village. The only time you can run around the course without being tackled.
Right.
And I did want to ask you, David, because earlier, I think this was last week, and you heard the news that Toledo's getting a U.S. Open, like 2045. Is there any chance you think that Muirfield, that Jack's Place could do one of the Big Four golf events, maybe a U.S. Open, sometime in the 2050s?
Well, I think that's if you hear Dan Sullivan talk about that, I think I
know he doesn't love hearing that.
I know.
Of how important the memorial
is so important, and being a signature event and being one of and you saw they've got the best food on the PGA Tour. They were talking about that and just how protected they are of that. I don't know the answer. It would be kind of cool. It's interesting. I had somebody reach out to us and say, hey, we want to play the people are traveling here because they want to play where the Ryder Cup has been. Yeah. And they have 2 more courses to play. So they want to play Scioto and they want to play.
That's really cool. Because Scioto's doing the Senior Open in July.
July 4th weekend.
And that's fantastic. The Senior Open is a wonderful.
You think Tiger's playing?
Tiger's 50. He's 50 now. He's eligible for it. I don't know.
Jim Nance was trying to. I don't know if you saw the interview. Jim Nance was trying to see if he'd commit to the Masters and see if he'd commit to that. Wouldn't that be fantastic for Columbus if he showed up?
Yeah. I've already committed Bobby's lawn for parking in that event.
Yeah, good.
Look, all I'm saying is, for Bob and for other OSU dignitaries in Bob's neighborhood, if you're really interested in getting Ohio State NIL up in terms of numbers, $50 to park.
Yep.
$1,000 for the weekend. You can park on Bob's lawn. All the money goes to Ohio State's name, image, and likeness.
That's it. Hey, George Kaufman's not too far away
just
from
trying to help
we can
here,
pull that
right?
off.
We're talking about the basketball Buckeyes not having enough money. Well, here's an avenue.
I think I'm going to rent a golf cart that weekend and just transport.
Are you crashing
people
on Bobby's couch?
No, not this time. But I will. I'll transfer. If people want to ride on the golf cart to the course, I'll charge them and I'll drive them up there to the golf cart. I'll give it to. Well, I will give it to NIL. I'll give it to ME. But that's what I'm going to do.
Or you get one of those tricycle things with the bucket in the back, and then you get some exercises. You're driving people back and forth.
Do it with your pink ruck vest.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's very ambitious.
Again, M3S Sports for everything. If next year you say, I think I can do the pump and run, that's where you want to get the information for next year, the registration, the Ohio State 4-miler, the Fan 5K coming up at Otterbein in June. The man that's responsible for it all is David Babner, a great friend, and he joins us. Thank you so much for the time this morning, bud.
Hey, I appreciate it. It was great to hang out with you guys. What a great Saturday.
We got a participation medal without participating.
We got medals with Arnold on it.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that awesome?
The only place you can get that.
I'm going to wait until afterwards and tell my wife I did it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let her know that I have it now.
Yeah, show up on Monday and be like, hey, honey, look what I got.
Show up, just missed myself.
What's more important for Julian Sane in the spring? I'm going to ask Tito. He's going to tell me next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
I started my first business when I was 12, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I learned if you do the job right, people trust you and customers care that you show up and do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts, and spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. When you care about the people you serve, you work harder and it shows. Call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com.
When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you could save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details.
He's a husband, a dad, owner of a gym. He's also a police officer. Staying strong and pain-free isn't optional. It's safety. That's why David Boardman's a QC Kinetics patient.
My job is dependent on my physical ability and my physical fitness so that I can protect myself, so that I can go home safe to my family at the end of the night.
But severe knee pain nearly took that away. Doctors said surgery, shut down the workouts. David needed another option. That was QC Kinetics. They told him,
we're going to give you the opportunity to have not one, but 2 healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
They used David's own healing tools in his blood to help restore his knees. Regenerative treatments right in the office.
Since I've gone to them, I run 20, 30 miles a week.
Trust the team helping active people avoid surgery. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Welcome back to That Lux Life. It's your boy, Will Winmore. Today's guest, the Millionaire Ball from the new Ohio Lottery Daily Draw Game, Millionaire for Life. Hey-o! So if a player matches 5 numbers and the Millionaire Ball number, they win $1 million a year for life. Hey-o! Or $100,000 a year for life if they match just 5. Hey-o! Millionaire for Life is the game. Millionaire Ball is his name. Play Ohio's newest daily draw game for your chance to win for life. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Thanks to your support, the nonprofits VetTix and First Tix have given away tens of millions of tickets and counting to vets currently serving military, the immediate family of troops killed in action, and our brave current and former first responders. These tickets are a meaningful way to say thank you to America's heroes. And now we want you to be part of the mission. Got extra tickets to concerts, games, or special events? Or want to see if you qualify? We want you to go to vettix.org and firsttix.org today. Give something to those who gave.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Coffee, iced cap, refreshers. Tim Hortons has all your favorite beverages. And now you can get your favorite bite for less. When you buy any size beverage, add a baked daily donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. So next time you order your favorite Tim's beverage, add something that satisfies your cravings and your wallet. The $1, $2, $3 menu. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply.
Common Man and Timmy.
I like the handshake, though.
I love the handshake. I reach all the way around.
A little how's your father?
Little rub and a tug.
A little R to T.
Common Man and Timmy, Afternoons on the Fan. It's sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here. You've heard me talk about High Bank's award-winning spirits, but let's talk about the food. High Bank delivers incredible meals and handcrafted cocktails in a space that works for every part of your week. Start with happy hour, drinks with friends, come back for brunch worth planning your weekend around, then stay for dinner. And get this, kids eat half off every Monday. Great food, award-winning drinks, a reason to come back time and time again. Make a reservation today at a location near you at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Need a roof you can count on? Ramos Roofing has protected homes and businesses throughout Ohio for almost 20 years. Whether it's a leaky roof, storm damage, new siding, or new gutters to protect your foundation, Ramos Roofing delivers quality materials, professional installation, and honest service every time. Get your free roof or exterior assessment today and ask about Ramos Roofing's no-interest financing options. Call 614-761-7663 or visit online at ramosroofingohio.com.
For the past 100 years, Shriners Children's has become family to over 1.5 million kids.
In tough times and good times, they're there when we need them most.
Please go online right now to loveshriners.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today will be very warm as we see high temperatures soar into the mid-70s. It will be breezy at times ahead of storms. Your storm chances are around the noon to 6 p.m. time frame. During that time, any storms could be strong. Even severe storms will be possible with strong gusty winds, heavy rain, and plenty of lightning. That rain gets out of here this evening. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith on 97.1 The Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvis weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, The Fan. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Starting on Tuesday, the Ohio State football team's going to have 14 practices over a 6-week period, culminating in that spring game at Ohio Stadium on Saturday, April 18th. You're going to hear from the head coach of your Buckeyes on Tuesday. Ryan Day is going to meet with the media after that first practice at about 11 o'clock. When he hits the podium, we'll have his comments live on the Fan. Then on Thursday, Tito, they're going to have practice number 2 of the session. Julian Sain and Caden McDonald, or Kenyatta Jackson, excuse me, are going to be meeting with the media afterwards. I'm interested in what Julian Sain does from a leadership perspective over the course of the spring. I'm less concerned about the escapability. I'm less concerned about how he handles collapsing pockets because it's the spring. Julian's never going to be a Will Howard.
Right.
But can he take steps in that direction to be the true leader, follow me to freedom that Ohio State's offense needs? He's not going to be the best player because he's got Jeremiah Smith.
Right.
But he's got to be the leader because he's the quarterback of the team.
You know, it's interesting. Before the break, you said, find out what Tito thinks he needs to work on. And I didn't even think about that. Like, I thought about just escapability a little bit, you know, and a little more mobile. But you're right. That pays more dividends if you've got a quarterback who can be a leader. And, you know, it is an interesting concept where, you know, the best player, we know it's Jeremiah Smith. He's also been there longer than Julian Sain. But Sain certainly has I would think, a chance for be a bigger voice.
He has to. He has to in situations because, you know, if you've seen Ohio State's schedule in 2026, it's daunting.
It's tough.
You have to be the guy in situations where things are chaotic that he can settle. the offense. And you're going to have 4 or 5 starters back on the offensive line. Bo Jackson, your 1,000-yard rusher from last season. He had a shoulder procedure that's going to keep him out of spring ball. Isaiah West similarly. So great opportunity for the running backs in the spring to get meaningful reps with the ones. And however they start to install what Arthur Smith wants to do for this offense. But for me, it all settles. It's all on Julian. And that's, I think, if you're a quarterback at Ohio State, that's what you want.
You've got a good offensive line this year. Not as many questions as you had in previous years, as far as offensive line goes. You've got a tremendous receiving core again. And look, the fact that, Jackson and West are out of spring practice, it's almost, I don't want to say.
I don't need Bo Jackson to do anything.
I don't want to say it's a good thing, but it is an opportunity, it really is, to see what these other guys can do because, we saw it a couple seasons ago when we had to rely, we saw it a few seasons ago, we had to rely on like a bunch of running backs. It was before the championship season, right? When Henderson was that way back was Dobb. Who was?
You did Henderson and Judkins,
right?
Was your two-headed attack?
Didn't Henderson get hurt a little bit the year before that? Am I wrong on that one? I thought he got hurt.
No, Henderson was dealing with injury. I think that's why they went and got Judkins, so they could keep Henderson limited's not the right word, but just make sure he wouldn't have to be the bell cow.
Yeah.
Worked out pretty well.
It did. Worked out great. And so hopefully he can do that again this year. And that building the depth at the running back positions is a significant development.
Ohio State did hire former Pittsburgh Steelers offensive assistant Mateo Kambui. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that last name right.
Traditional spelling?
Kambui.
Okay.
And so he comes over from Pittsburgh as an assistant offensive line coach. He'll work directly with Tyler Bowen, who's the Buckeyes Buckeyes run game coordinator and O-line coach. And I really think Bowen, did a wonderful job with that unit last year.
Yeah, so do I. It was impressive, and it got better as the year went on.
There were the questions, obviously, that kind of, I think injuries, I just wish sometimes if you've got a guy with a torn pectoral, you let people know.
Yeah.
If you've got injury concerns, it helps to be clear about that. If you've got injuries, so then when they have a drop in performance in postseason games like the Buckeyes did on the offensive line, people know.
Yeah, it's and I understand the balance of that though, where you don't want to be too transparent.
There is I just think it's very easy to walk that line. You don't have to necessarily be like the enemies of our program can't know our secrets,
right?
But you can also tell the fan base, hey, here's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Certainly Ryan Day and company have earned the benefit of that doubt. So I would just hope they've taken everything that they've learned last year from an offensive standpoint, and they will either scrap it or they will build on it. Because we now know you can't flip a switch at any time, so this can't be we're going to sit on the ball approach. I don't know what that means for Arthur Smith because he's putting as many tight ends as he can.
Yeah.
I do think there's going to be an added emphasis on running the ball, more so than there even was last year. But you've also got Jeremiah Smith.
Right.
So I look to you add Chris Henry. You brought a transfer wide receiver out of Texas at San Antonio. You have the ponies. You need to open this thing up, and you need to show that you can open it up at any moment.
So last year, famously, Ryan Day played at a slower pace. Like they
can't do that this year.
I would say, do you think they've learned from that this year to where they will come out and play more like, you know what, I don't care. We're going to run a lot of plays, score a lot of points.
Yeah, I think especially with the schedule that they've got, Texas week 2, and then the Big Ten gauntlet that they've got to go through, you've got to be able to do it through the entire season. I also want to caution myself. So I don't know the right answer to the question. I'm really interested to get Arthur Smith's thoughts whenever they do make him available. It's funny. I think Tim May told us yesterday that he talked with him. Like, what'd you talk about? And he didn't say. Like, all right.
It was I'll tell you why. It was
off the record.
Yeah, it's off the record. All that stuff's off the record when they go out to those things. They tell them that when they come in, hey, guys, everything you guys hear is off the record.
I want to know from Arthur how they're going to balance this.
Yeah.
Because you can't sit on the ball for 12 games, but you also can't do a 180 from that.
Right.
You can't just keep doing a 180 on your offensive attack this year. It has to be a balance there.
Yeah, it does. So
now you bring in a new offensive coordinator who's going to run Ryan Day's offense, but he's also going to want to sprinkle in some of his own designs with that. It showed up in the worst way against Indiana.
Yeah.
When they had an aggressive front, and then Miami just exploited it more.
Right.
When they got an aggressive front and you couldn't sit on the football, you couldn't get it down the field.
I have faith, though, in Ryan Day and Matt Patricia specifically. I have faith in Ryan Day for hiring Arthur Smith.
Sure.
That right there.
The hire, I'm not concerned with.
Right.
The hire's great, I think.
Right. But the pace thing is what I want to see, because I want to see them do it from the start.
It was the second half of the Miami game, the second half of the Indiana game. Go.
Yeah.
It can't wait until the postseason for me to be yelling at Ohio State's offense to go. They have the horses to do it. So the balance there will be important whenever we hear from Arthur Smith. I'm curious to see exactly what he says on that. With Patricia and the defense, it's a lot of similar questions. Oh, you got so many guys you got to replace. They're going to the NFL. What are you going to do? And Caleb Downs is the biggest, because you can't replace Caleb Downs.
No.
But how do you take a couple of guys, take the transfer safeties from Alabama or Florida or Duke, and how do you reassign his roles?
Go Moneyball. We replace him in the aggregate. Right? What does he do? He gets on base.
Look, it's going to be a hell of a spring. It'll be a hell of a fall. And we're gonna have a lot of fun, because this team's going to be really good. They're going to have a top 5 number next to their name when the AP poll comes out. But it all starts on Tuesday with Ohio State's first spring practice. The basketball Buckeyes and Jake Diebler have a huge opportunity to end the season on a 3-game winning streak and send Bruce Thornton into meaningful moments in March. We'll talk to Adam Jardy of the Columbus Dispatch in 2 minutes. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Refi your car loan at Kemba Financial Credit Union and get up to $500 cash back the next day. Sometimes a little extra cash is all you need to put a boost in your step and your bank account. More money, less stress. It's easy. Apply at Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. Ends April 18th, 2026. Equal opportunity lender.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Right now, save big on USDA Choice Bone and Ribeye Steaks. They're only $9.99 a pound in the value pack with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron, what are those?
Those are what are known as toilets, Jerry.
I know they're toilets, but why are they sitting back to back like bookends?
Congratulations, Jerry. You said the magic word.
Get Eco.
Bookends? Bookends is the magic word?
Take a seat, Jerry.
I choose this one.
A good choice. That is the world's most luxurious toilet.
Really? How much is it?
$6,500, including installation.
What? For $6,500, this thing would have to iron my shirts, shine my shoes, and sing happy birthday to me.
Get Eco.
It does way more than that, Jerry.
I'm switching to the other one. How much is this one?
$650, including installation.
Wow, that's a great deal. What does it do?
It does exactly what you would expect, Jerry.
Huh. From $650 to $6,500. Eco has a toilet for everyone.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and you can always trust our HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
After my accident, people warned me to slow down. I said, I don't know how. Thanks to my VA care team, I haven't.
At VA, we're using technology to help veterans recover faster and live their lives to the fullest. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov/PSA.
We are your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, you are. Rieser and Tito with you until noon today. At 4:30, Brandon Beam will be in here to gently warm you up for Ohio State and Indiana. Tip-off from the Schottenstein Center is 5:30. First 2,000 fans in attendance get one of 2 really cool Bruce Thornton bobbleheads. Ohio State's 4-time captain is 12 points from setting Ohio State's new all-time career scoring mark.
There was a scene in the We Are the World making of the video, like the music, and Cyndi Lauper, no, it's all over your head. But anyway, she goes to sing at the microphone, and every time they hear like she's wearing a bunch of jewelry, and she hears it clinging and clanging, they make her take it off. I'm just letting you know, I'm hearing the clinging and clanging with your double metal there.
We clang out now to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline and bring on Adam Jardy, who covers the Ohio State men's basketball squad for the Columbus Dispatch. Adam, thanks so much for the time this morning. We've seen what this Ohio State team can do, healthier and with a deeper bench. How do we look going into the game for Brandon Knoll and Donovan Puff Johnson?
Looks like Puff will probably be questionable. I don't think that we'll see Brandon Knoll for the game. I think he gets back in time for the Big Ten tournament, but he's making progress. I saw him the other day for the first time in 2 months walking without any sort of boot or anything. So I'm progress to getting on the court, and I assume just better quality of life too. Probably sick of wearing that thing.
You think they're in right now in the tournament?
they're clearly in right now. They could really test it if they decided to like lose out. But at this moment, they're on the right side and they have a little bit of breathing room, honestly. So they're in a good spot. They just got to take care of what they need to, win the games you're supposed to win. They're favored to win today. Most likely their first round matchup in the Big Ten tournament, they'd be favored. Take care of those kinds of games. You're not going to be sweating at all on Selection Sunday.
Adam, I'm going to ask you a question about asking you a question. Is it too early to have the Bruce Thornton legacy conversation and what he's meant for this program without the March, without March being complete?
That's interesting. Because like if you were to ask Bruce whether or not they make the tournament and depending on where the season ends, like I don't think he looks at that as being something that defines the legacy that he will leave at Ohio State. I think from the outside, I think it's important for him to get to the tournament. I think it's important for this team to play in March Madness, for him to have that experience, because he's done everything else. And he's done it at such a consistently high level for so long. Like I've thought about this, like what if in like 10 years, hey, remember Bruce Thornton and writing about it? It's like, but then there's always that like, but what if they had actually made the tournament? Like you don't want that kind of thing just kind of hovering over a legacy. And I don't really, I guess the unfortunate thing is it's not his fault if they don't make it. I mean, there's other guys that all share that kind of responsibility. But I think his legacy is pretty secure. I think he can enhance it if they make the tournament, but I think who he is and what he's done for 4 years, I don't know that necessarily changes based on what happens in the next 8 days, but it could be enhanced if they do make the tournament, if that makes sense.
How surprised are you from, say, 6 weeks ago that this team is where it's at, or are you surprised at all?
No, not really. Well, I guess let me qualify that. I guess if we go back 6 weeks, we're still in January. But like really since they lost that game at Wisconsin, they've been a different team. And that really kind of coincides with like the start of February. And if you look at like all the metrics and things, I mean, since the start of February, they're playing as a top 20 team. Like all the numbers point to a team that has been among the 20 best in the country. I think as of yesterday, they're like 17th in that stretch. And granted, that's only a snapshot of the season, but this team has been playing fairly consistently good basketball, bordering on high level basketball for the last 5-6 weeks. So I think they've taken some steps. They've solidified themselves and kind of what they're about, I think. And they've done that while dealing with injuries. And now that they've been able to play at a pretty consistently high level for an extended period of time, and they essentially have everybody available, I think that's part of why you're seeing them play their best, basketball here at the most important time in the season, because they're healthy and they've been playing well even when they haven't been healthy for a while now. I think this is who they are.
Yeah, the availability's been a thing, right, Adam, for a lot this season. And I think back to Devin Royal and missing the Michigan game, with that illness and kind of the flack that he took post that loss to the Wolverines. Adam Jardy, our guest, he covers the basketball Buckeyes at the Columbus Dispatch. Will be at the Schottenstein Center for today's game. Senior Day, Ohio State, Indiana, 5:30 will be the tip there. But for Royal, what's changed with him, if anything, over the last month, in your opinion?
I don't know. When I just think, he's sort of consistently getting to the glass with a little bit more regularity, and I think that's been big. Like that was something that really stood out to me in the last 2 games, is just how much they were able to get that big rebound that they needed, like whenever they needed it. Like it seemed like they were high level with that. I thought it was a little unfair to him that he didn't finish with a double-double at Penn State, because I thought he played really well in that game. And if it had been even a little bit more competitive, maybe he plays a little bit longer and he gets a 10th rebound. I thought he played well enough to earn it. I think probably like some of these other guys, like there's probably just a realization that they are reaching the end of the season and that it's now or never, and you've got to, put it all out there and whatever cliche you want to attach to that. But, he can be a consistent, reliable contributor on the glass and obviously scoring. And I think he's been doing that better, I feel like, since the illness there at Michigan State.
What has Chapman meant to this team since he came back?
he gave them a spark when they needed it. I mean, you think about him having to step into a bigger role with Junie being out, and the way that he was able to shoot, the way he was able to just look like a high level basketball player. It took a lot of stress off of things. And I think then you add in, once you do get healthy and you have a player like that you've seen can play, high level basketball, and look healthy and look comfortable doing it. And then you can take that and mesh that with Bruce Thornton and John Mobley. It just makes his team look better. I think it took some of the pressure off of Bruce, honestly, and some of the pressure maybe even off of Mobley, because you don't feel like, man, I have to go out and get 30 every night. Now you can feel like, man, I only need to get 20 a night because I know that Taysom's going to do this, and that's going to free up, Junie to get a couple more. It just feels like it makes everything click a little bit better. And it took a lot of pressure off a lot of different guys because suddenly you actually did have a little bit of depth that we talked about so much during the season had been lacking.
Yeah, I kind of go back to that indelible image of Bruce kind of sitting on the floor at the Breslin Center, did everything he could against the Spartans. And now to see guys coming along and even Junie stepping into, I think, more of a leadership position with this team, at least certainly outwardly. He looks like a guy that's really kind of coming into his own as a basketball player. Just real quick, Adam, does Bruce get 12 today to become Ohio State's all-time leading scorer? And how do you see kind of the game plan going today against the Hoosiers?
I mean, I'd be shocked if he doesn't get to 12. I'm curious to see, do they feed him early? Does that force anything? Does that, I think this team's done a really good job of just focusing on the moment here recently and not letting the big picture stuff overwhelm it. I think it's been one of the most important things for this late season push we're seeing. So, I'm curious, does it add any sort of, pressure to this game? Are guys thinking about that? Are they like, man, we got to get Bruce going so we can get, I'd be surprised if that plays a role in it. But I think as far as I think he gets there. First half, second half, I'm not sure. And as far as the Hoosiers go, I mean, it's a team I think if you can shut down DeVries, I think you feel pretty good about your chances. I mean, Lamar Wilkinson's been incredible, and he's had some all conference performances this season. He might be an all league player, but I think this is as much about Ohio State as it is about anything. I mean, I've covered this team going to play at Michigan State on senior day and play at Indiana on senior day. And there are days when you walk into that building and it's you're not beating Cassius Winston on his senior day on his home floor. You just know that. And Ohio State had to go play that role. They have a chance to do that today. I mean, it's hard to imagine Ohio State losing at home on Bruce Thornton senior day, on bobblehead day, when he's going to set the career scoring mark. There's so many things for Ohio State that I feel like not that Indiana can't have a say in it, but they have all this stuff on their side and working for them. They just have to seize it now. And I think that's the biggest thing I'm curious for today is can they act, as I know Bo Bishop likes to say, can they act accordingly? That's my question for today.
So the game against Penn State, I can't remember the last time I saw Ohio State go on the road and easily dominate any team like that. Does any game come to mind for you recently at all where you saw Ohio State effortlessly dominate? Boy, that's a tough word for me. I shouldn't have done that twice. A game.
The one that jumps out to me from this year is Maryland. And that's in part because that's been such a horrible place for Ohio State to go play at, and that they took care of business pretty demonstratively, I guess, in that game. That wasn't really close. I thought they just handled their business there. But yeah, everything about that experience at the Bryce Jordan Center on Wednesday was just it was odd. I mean, they announced 6,000 fans. I would say there were 3,000 fans there. There was no buzz, no energy. Ohio State, it felt at times like I was watching a youth game or a YMCA game or something like that. There's nothing to that Penn State program right now. And I thought it was a real credit again to how Ohio State is playing right now, that they didn't mess around. I mean, they get out to a 7-0 lead. Penn State scores 8 straight points. And then Ohio State was 26-3 from that point and just buried the team, on the road, burying a team like that. Another sign, I think, growth for Ohio State this season. But it was historic. I mean, they've never had a 3-point shooting game like that on the road in the history of the program. So there were quite a few things that came out of that game where you just kind of turn your head a little bit, are those numbers real?
And the opportunity to notch their 20th win on the season and go 12-8 in Big Ten play for this Ohio State team. Adam Jardy covers it all at the Columbus Dispatch. He's kind enough to join us this morning on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Adam, thanks so much for the time. Enjoy the game today and have fun in March. I think it's going to be a fun one.
Yep.
Covering the NCAA tournament is the best thing about this job. I look forward to it every year, and I'm thrilled for the hope that I'm going to get to do it this season.
All right, bud. It's actually real quick. If he hasn't left us, Miami.
I'm here.
What should the committee do with the Redhawks if they lose in Cleveland next week?
Oh, they're in. They have to be in. Yeah. There's no way you don't put a team like that in. If you don't put Miami in this tournament, then you have lost the goals of what this tournament is supposed to be about. So do the right thing, put them in the tournament, and let's go.
All right, bud. Enjoy the game tonight.
Thanks, guys.
There he goes. Adam Jardy, Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline for that one. He's the best in the business. And it's cool for Bruce. It's cool for the team. It's also cool for guys like Adam.
Yes.
To be able to have this sort of run where they can follow the Buckeyes in and through the NCAA tournament. It's going to be a tall task for Kevin McGuff, literally and figuratively today. Not necessarily for him, but for his team, as they've got UCLA in the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament, and the Jackets with an incredible opportunity to continue this run post-Olympic break. We'll discuss those next at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Take action and get expert service from Logan Services. Heating service calls are just $79. Furnace tune-ups are also $79. And plumbing service calls are just $79. We work in your neighborhood, and scheduling online is quick and easy. So visit our website to book your appointment now. For fast, friendly service, choose Logan Services.
Remember what sunshine feels like? Windows open, birds chirping, everything looking fresh and new. Spring is closer than you think, and so are those home projects on your to-do list. Maybe winter left its mark. A small leak that's getting bigger, shingles that didn't survive the snowstorms, or siding that's clearly seen better days. Whatever your home is facing, our team of professionals at Newman Roofing are here to help. For more than 34 years, Newman Roofing has been helping homeowners protect what matters most. From your first phone call, you'll notice the difference. Passionate and committed people who care about doing the job right. And with over 1,000 five-star Google reviews, you don't have to take our word for it. If your roof, siding, or gutters need attention, call the family company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof this spring, get a Newman roof.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Take your shot to save at Great Lakes Hyundai. Shoot the hoop to get extra savings on your new car purchase. On top of big shot savings like 0% financing on 26 Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucson's for up to 5 years. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. It's the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Dublin or Columbus or GLakesHyundai.com. With Proof Credit, some customers may not qualify. First to cruise during no payment period. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's Best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Offer ends 3/31.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
We're hiring at Don's Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job. It's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at donsgaragedoors.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Goodyear's up to $160 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Goodyear's and save up to $160 more. See store for details.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Winning isn't everything, but at Tim Hortons, every day's a chance to win when you play Roll Up to Win. Maybe it's a free coffee or donut, or a year's supply of fuel from Shell. That goes a long way. Maybe it's a Kobo e-reader, or up to $1,000 in Uber Eats gift cards, or even a VIP getaway to see Cirque du Soleil. Okay, not something you win every day. Roll up to win, only at Tim Hortons. No purchase necessary, 18 plus, ends March 22nd, 2026. Tim Hortons app required for digital game. Use the app to reveal digital rules. Game cups while supplies last. Offer a chance to win food and beverage prizes only. See official rules at rolluptowin.com.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Day 1, the hardest day. The day you hear,
this is a type of blood cancer.
At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1. To learn more and get help on any day, visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yingling drafts for only $4. We firmly believe it's appropriate to tailgate before a youth soccer game. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, you are. Rieser, Tito, and Nate rolling along with you until noon today. Our thanks to Adam Jardy, the Columbus Dispatch, for putting up with us there in the last segment. As it would stand right now, the basketball Buckeyes, who play Indiana today at 5:30, are the 8th seed in the Big Ten men's basketball tournament. They're scheduled to play either Iowa, Oregon, or Maryland next Thursday at noon Eastern.
Got Lucky Rothman, huh? Oh, no, we won't have it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Lucky Rothman, yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Oh,
Lucky.
Yeah, you're right. You too.
Bo Bishop, Eric Rieser, and Ryan Baker. Because that's a noon. If it sticks. That's a noon tip. Right. 11 o'clock. Right. Beamer will be in here for the warm-up show. Yeah, 2-hour show.
See, that's
be great.
Yeah.
Because then what would happen is the winner of Ohio State or Iowa, the winner of Ohio State, Iowa, Maryland, Oregon, however, culmination of that, plays Michigan on Friday at noon.
Okay.
So
if they get the 7 seed, though, how does that screw up your life?
If they get the 7 seed, so they would
then
play,
it benefits Rothman and
Man and Bo.
That
game, UCLA currently occupies the 7th spot in the Big Ten men's basketball tournament. They would play 6:30 on Thursday.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it'd be 5:30. So, yeah, it'd be Man and Timmy.
Yeah, Man and Timmy.
That would benefit from that. However, we're still, still one game away for all the teams that are involved in this. I think UCLA's got USC. Like Trojans felt like they just fell off a cliff.
They did.
UCLA got a big boost after beating Nebraska, which I think was a possibility. So some Big Ten teams still feeling pretty bubblicious on what's the final days of the regular season.
Nebraska fans.
Yeah.
Because we want them to beat Iowa. They host Iowa. And that's when we need Iowa to lose. Of course, if Ohio State wins, it doesn't matter. But
no, right. If you win, you're the 8th seed. But if you lose and Iowa wins,
and that's tomorrow,
then you would be bumped to Wednesday in the second round, taking on either Oregon or Maryland. I do not love that they have 18 teams in this Big Ten tournament. You do not need that.
Like what the MAC did? Just top 8?
Yes.
You like it that way?
Yes. I'm perfectly fine with less teams.
I think someone else suggests that in most of these like one-bid leagues, don't have a conference tournament. That way your conference champ gets in no matter what.
I'm torn on that.
Yeah.
Because I think the conference championships can provide a lot of fun to be had.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a team that's like 6 or 7 wins in conference that just goes on a hot run.
I know.
Like that can present you some cool moments.
It's kind of fun to get like 11, 17
team. I generally lean to where you're at.
Yeah.
Like you win the conference, you're in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
You don't necessarily need to worry about 31 automatic 31 auto bids. You've got the first of those 31 tonight in the Ohio Valley Conference Championship tournament final. Morehead State and Tennessee State.
Mm-hmm.
So that's at 9 o'clock for all of those who are interested. As for the Ohio State women in the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament, today in Indianapolis, they've got the first game of 2, Buckeyes and second-ranked UCLA Bruins at 2 o'clock. Yeah. Tyler Danberg's going to have the call with coverage on the Fan 2. That's 1460 on the AM dial at 1:45. What does Ohio State need to do to beat the Bruins today? Because last time out for the Ohio State and UCLA, 82-75 in favor of University of California at Los Angeles.
UCLA in that game had 47 rebounds to Ohio State's 32. UCLA had 19 offensive rebounds. And McGuff talked about yesterday in his post-game press conference about the combination of size and skill that UCLA has. And, you can't let them out-rebound you by 15, and you certainly can't let them get 19 offensive rebounds.
No.
That's the biggest thing. That's where Ohio State has the most troubles with a big team like this that's got a solid backcourt also. Because if Ohio State's not forcing the turnovers and UCLA can take advantage of the height down low, Ohio State's in trouble.
Trying to think who's the other semifinal in the Big
Michigan,
10.
Isn't it? Michigan and I know Michigan's in there. I can tell you here. I get called up right
This is the best radio I think we've done. Michigan and Iowa.
The
second game of the day, 4:30. Both of those on the Big Ten Network, but you'll be here Ohio State and UCLA coming up at 2 o'clock over on the Fan 2. I keep thinking back to your question about conference tournaments with the mid-majors. Yeah. I think they should still exist, but I don't think we should expand the NCAA tournament. That's probably going to happen.
Yeah,
we don't need more and we don't need less. I think we need just everything stay the same. It's fine the way it is. I don't know why we need to go and constantly change things.
But Reese, through the years though, every time or most times that the NCAA's expanded the tournament, fans said, "Oh, this is too big." Listen, I mean, I remember it was 42 or 48, maybe 48, but 42, 48, somewhere in there. And then they went like the 54.
Yeah.
And then it was like, 54. I mean, come on. And then it goes up to 64, right? And then now 68. I mean, every time though, people complain about like, no, listen, we can't get any bigger. And then they adjust to it. They still watch it. It still happens.
Well, it's that inventory, right? The content that Tony Petitti keeps talking about. I don't know if you saw yesterday him and 45, 46 other college athletic delegates and Notre Dame athletic director Pete Bavacqua were at the White House.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to save college athletics. The president's going to sign it, or has maybe already signed the executive order to save college sports. But, man, every time you go against any time the NCAA is taken to court, when it involves the model of amateurism, they get it shut down. Even Trump's Supreme Court justices ruled against the amateurism model.
Yeah.
Because in no other place of work, no other place of employment, does it make any sense. You have to be somewhere at a certain time. You have to perform somewhere at a certain level. That's a job.
Yes.
Now they're compensated for it.
Right.
Just if you don't want to call them athletes, then you can't really fix this if you don't also include the coaches in those meaningful discussions.
What I fear is that it will, and I don't know if I fear it. I guess the worst outcome would be, though, if they all of a sudden don't tie in academics with athletics. You know what I mean? Like if they all of a sudden decide, these guys are they're employees, what they are. And maybe they're majoring in, sports management, sports or whatever. That's their major. And, I don't know. It just feels it's so much different now than it was, and water's wet, than it was 5, 10, 20 years ago than it is now.
And there's
uncharted water every day.
And they're thinking that they can treat it the same.
Yeah, you can't.
Tell you how it's going to go, but just like Condoleezza Rice being involved in these conversations. I get it that she's an experienced diplomat and conversation haver.
Right.
When it comes to college athletics, like what's the offering?
Wasn't she on the BCS committee at one point?
Yeah, she was.
She's been on the college football playoff selection committee.
Yeah, she was on there when it first started, I think. She was one of the
I just asked, what are her college athletic bona fides?
And then Mississippi, the state of Mississippi is talking about they're trying to pass it through where they won't tax NIL money. So if a kid gets paid $5,000 a week or whatever it is, he does not get taxed on it.
It just has to be, if you want to have an actual conversation, employment has to be part of it. Yeah. And if you're going to bury your head in the sand with that, then I don't think you're actually interested in fixing or saving anything else. I think it was Ya Highness that saved the season for the basketball Buckeyes. He was on this very show last week, Chad Patrick, saying that Ohio State had a 96% chance to make the NCAA tournament. And then they went and beat number 8 Purdue.
Yeah.
We'll see what other magic he's got cooking coming up next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven. I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
There's an old story about cat toys that's been retold for over 20 years because it perfectly explains who we are. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Years ago, a couple who shared their house with 3 cats had another company out to look at their furnace. After working on it, the technician said it was dangerous and had to be replaced. The couple called Care for a second opinion, and my dad Mike went out to help them. When he inspected the furnace, the cause of the problem became obvious. A cat toy had been stuffed into the heat exchanger. With the toy removed, the furnace ran perfectly. Now, how did the toy get there? You can decide for yourself, but here's what mattered then and still matters now. The first company paid commissions to their service techs to sell new furnaces. At Care, we pay our technicians to fix furnaces, not sell you a new one. And if a new furnace is needed, our team of replacement specialists will advise you on all options available and help you make your best choice. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Columbus, you hungry? Good thing Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at Scramblers. From now to 3/31, get a buy one, get one free deal on Manhandler Skillet on the app. Order now, only on Uber Eats. Terms apply. See app for details.
It's March. Send it in, big fella. That means the greatest sports weekend of the year is coming, and the best place to set the puppies and watch the tournament is at Hollywood Casino Columbus. I'm Scotty Vegas, and Thursday through Sunday opening weekend, kiss the kids goodbye and hang out from noon to 5 with the Fan at the Hollywood Casino Sportsbook. A Bill Raftery impersonation contest, free throw games, free shirts, and more. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. Onions!
At National Geographic Society, we believe in the power of wonder. It drives us to explore, pushes us to see the world differently, moves us to action. And we believe that today, wonder is more essential than ever. Wow. That's why we're supporting a new generation of explorers to ask big questions, make breakthroughs, and bring the future closer. Wonder awaits. Will you join us? Visit natgeo.org/wonder.
What would it take for my child to only miss half a day of school for treatment?
What would it take to find a cure for childhood cancer?
It would take all of us to come together to support the research. Join us. Go to childrenscancer.org today.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Nate Puderbaugh with your sports update. Last night in college basketball, Miami of Ohio completed the perfect regular season. The 19th ranked Redhawks knocked out the Ohio Bobcats 110-108 in overtime on the back of Ian Elmer's career-high 32 points. They finished the regular season 31-0. It's a busy day for Ohio State hoops. The 11th ranked OSU women's team is in the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament. They take on top seed UCLA today at 2 o'clock. Coverage begins at 1:45 on the Fan 2. The OSU men's team wraps up the regular season today at the Shot. They take on the 18-12 Indiana Hoosiers today at 5:30. Fan coverage begins at 4:30. The CBJ continue the homestand tonight. They look to make it 4 straight wins as they take on the Utah Mammoth at 7 o'clock. The Blue Jackets sit just 1 point back of the Boston Bruins for the final wildcard spot. And in NFL news, the Baltimore Ravens acquire 5-time Pro Bowl defensive end Max Crosby from the LA Raiders. Breaking sports news, what happens to the Fan? Ohio Sports Destination.
Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
You know, the Ravens get Crosby for a 2026 and 2027 first-round draft pick. So 2 ones go to Las Vegas in that monumental deal. The Ravens picked 14th overall in 26, so April 23rd is going to be the first round of the NFL draft. And Now Las Vegas is entering the rebuild.
1-14. Yeah.
Properly entering the rebuild. So for the Cleveland Browns, and can't do anything with Myles Garrett anymore, but that should have been the move they made to actually rebuild this thing from the ground up because it will do them no good.
He is Ya Highness, and he's joining us right now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, WeWinUwin.com. Also, Shut Up and Bet on YouTube, where you can find all of his social stuff that he does. Good morning, Ya Highness, and let's get this out of the way first for people who don't know about it, but you got your $100 to $1 million bet you're trying to make, where you turn $100 into $1 million. Where are you at on that, and how can people find out what your picks are?
Well, first, let's start off with a very good morning, Columbus, Ohio. Happy Saturday. I think your co-host there mentioned it before I came on. I was on the show last week, and I told you the Buckeyes are in the tournament, and I think everybody in Columbus understands that now. Let me plug two things. The YouTube channel at Shut Up and Bet. We're starting at $100. We keep doing a partial press till we get to $1 million. We got to win 16 bets. Tonight's bet, I won't tell you what it is, but it is on the Columbus Blue Jackets game, so go check that out. And the other plug I'll make, and then we'll get into the thick and thin of it, is WeWinUwin.com is my website. We raise money for charity youth athletics across the country every single month. This month we are running March Madness Lottery. You've probably never done it before. Simply, you're buying a lottery ball for $75. After Selection Sunday, we'll do a live video on Facebook and YouTube where we draw the ball, we assign that to a team, and that'll be your team for the tournament. It's pretty cool. The first two rounds, you get paid out based upon your seed. The higher seeds actually get a bigger payout. Full rules and details over there at WeWinUwin.com.
Yeah, I know you're always transparent about your stats for the season, how much money people are making if they stick with you and bet everything that you guys are betting. Can you give an update on that?
Of course, yeah. So the first, I did this. So I think I was on last week with Tim May. I think I was on with you 2 weeks before, and that was my first time on the Saturday show. So if people would have signed up that first Saturday coming to today, so 2 weeks, $20 bettors, that's more your range, Tito.
Yes, it is.
Would be up about $450, and $100 bettors would be up a little over $2,000.
You've got
that's
some,
just in two weeks.
Yeah, you've got some great insight on some of the conference tournament stuff as far as when teams are playing against somebody they've played before and what the outcomes of those are and things like that. As we get into conference tournament play, you're going to have a lot of rematches. Can you give us some insight on some of those things the trends that you found?
Yep, I'm going to sneak this in real quick because I got this question here before I jumped on the show, which is what is the odds of the Columbus Blue Jackets to make the playoffs? I currently have them at 59% chance to make the playoffs. All right, let's go to basketball. So I want to talk to your boy. Is it Eric, by the way?
Yes, it is.
It is. Hello.
Eric, you're an Ohio Bobcat graduate, if I did my research correctly.
Correct.
We got beef, brother. If your team could have pulled that upset last night, we would have been talking about a whole different show here today.
Yeah.
But let's talk MAC basketball for 2 seconds. I got the Akron Zips winning the MAC conference tournament, meaning they get the automatic bid. Now, here's where it gets dicey. I got about 26% chance for the Redhawks to make the tournament, and a lot of that has to do on how well they do in the MAC tournament. If they get bounced in the first two rounds, I actually think they're heading to the NIT.
Yeah.
I think the only way they do make the tournament is if they get to the championship game and lose a close game to Akron. That's the way they get in and not winning the MAC title. By the way, your Bobcats have about a 2% chance to win the tournament, just in case you care.
Wow.
The last four teams I have in, for those in Ohio, you might be surprised. I actually have the Cincinnati Bearcats getting in as one of the last teams getting in. Texas Longhorns, San Diego State, and South Florida. Now, some of that has to do with games being played this weekend and also what I project to happen in the conference tournaments. I actually had the Indiana Hoosiers, playing the Buckeyes tonight or this afternoon, out. One of the first four teams out, along with the Miami Redhawks out. Auburn and also Boise State are the last four teams out is how I have that.
Chad, I'm just curious, with the Miami Redhawks and their march towards 31-0, did you see an uptick on money against their opponents? Because it was truly for Miami survive and advance their last three games, and especially that one last night in overtime in Athens.
Yeah, so it's funny, we got into a big debate within our community last night about the Redhawks from the betting against the spread type perspective. And so the last 3 games, you are correct, they did not cover. They won the last 3 games by a combined 6 points. But if you go to the 5 games previous to that, they covered all of them. And if you look at the whole nation throughout the whole season, the Miami Redhawks actually come in 8th, best in the country at covering against the spread. The problem is we're people of the now, and we think about these last 3 games. But if you look back through the schedule, I want to, and I don't have the number in front of me. They're like 19-8 or something. I know that doesn't add up, but something along those lines against the spread. Obviously undefeated money line, but I'll make a little bold prediction. I guess it was kind of a bold prediction last week when I told you the Buckeyes were pretty much a lock to get in the tournament. I see the Miami Redhawks coming out and probably kicking butt in the first 2 rounds of the MAC tournament, kind of making a statement. But I think when they get to that quarter semifinal and definitely the final, I think they're going to struggle like all heck, assuming it's the Zips. But also, I mean, we've seen Toledo give them a run for their money. We've seen Ohio give them a run for their money. They're getting everybody's best shot. Me personally, ever since that coach threw the speakers down with the DJ's equipment there in Western Michigan, I've now changed my allegiance and I'm cheering against the Redhawks. So I hope somebody like the Bobcats or the Toledo Rockets or somebody like that takes them down.
He is Ya Highness. WeWinYouWin.com is where you can find all of his stuff. And also go to Shut Up and Bet on YouTube to find that out. And what I like, you mentioned the March Madness Lotto, and you skimmed over the one part that I like to tell people is that it's $75 to purchase a Lotto ball. $15 of each entry goes to Desert Heat, the 10U to 12U girls soccer. You always do that with everything you've done. You always have some kind of charity involved with events like this. Why is that?
Yeah, I should have plugged that. Yes, it's a 10 to 12-year-old girls soccer league out here in Mesa, Arizona. But, I mean, we've raised money for those in Ohio as well, so I do it all across the country. The reason I do it is because we're in a place in this world where kids mostly are in front of screens and at home or inside, and there are kids out there that want to get out there and play in organized sports. And sometimes with the economy, inflation, whatever you want to blame it on, I don't care. There are certain families that aren't able to pay for these athletics, and I see more and more school districts charging pay to play. It's $500 here, it's $300 there. Well, guess what? Some of these families are living paycheck to paycheck, and I do not want any youth in this country to not be able to play in organized sports because of a dollar bill. So I do everything in my power. I know it's only a few $1,000s a month sometimes, but to try to help these families and help these kids. Now, I'll make a joke because that's very serious, and ultimately is I got to keep betting, so I got to have the next generation of athletes. That's just a joke, folks, but in all seriousness, we are here to help the kids.
What's changed more this week? The Baltimore Ravens and the money bet for them to either win the AFC Championship or to win or appear in the Super Bowl, or the Boston Celtics with Jason Tatum coming back?
So 2 things. One, I'm really old because when I first saw the notification that Crosby went to the Ravens, I said, why are they getting Mason Crosby? That's weird to pick up a kicker.
Odd, yeah.
So, yeah, I know I'm old. But anyway, so yeah, I think that's a huge pickup. I think this puts them back in the hunt as far as the top team in the, was that the Central, the AFC Central?
North, AFC North, formerly AFC Central,
North, yeah. Sorry. Browns, who knows? I'm still not a buyer on Sanders. Pittsburgh, who knows if they have a quarterback? I find it very ironic that Mike McCarthy pretty much got fired because Aaron Rodgers. Now he needs to beg him to come be his quarterback. Cincinnati, I love Joe Burrow to death, but he worries me. That offensive line worries me. So, yeah, I think with Crosby going to Ravens, I think they're too early to call it, but I would say the Ravens have probably got to be the favorites to win that division.
All right, if I had one of the first 3 shots at your lotto, and I get a chance, which 3 teams do you think are most likely to win the NCAA tournament?
Oh, I didn't come prepared for that. So there's really 3 teams that I think. Let me back up. So last year was kind of a terrible March Madness tournament, in my opinion, because there wasn't a lot of buzzer beaters, there wasn't a lot of close games, there wasn't a lot of upsets. To me, I think that's what everybody loves, especially in the first 2 rounds. This year, buckle up, sweetheart, because I think we're in for a bumpy ride. I think we have 3 teams that are basically a cut above everybody else, and everybody else can get beat at any single time. So it's just going to be no surprise to anybody. Duke, I had to pull it up here. So Duke, Arizona, Michigan are the clear favorites to win it all. And actually, it might surprise somebody or some people, but I have Michigan and Duke actually is pretty much a split. I have roughly both about 22 to 23% to win it all. Arizona's the next drop down to about 12%. And actually, I didn't even check it this morning. Florida's kind of bumped up a little bit. Florida's in the 4th spot at about 10%. But then we have a big drop down to Houston, 5%. And then the rest of the way, we're talking 1-2%. I think we've seen it all regular season where we have teams in the top 10 of the AP poll getting upset and beat at home. How does that mean on the road? I think there's a lot of parity in this league, except for the cream has rise to the top. So what I would project is that the Final Four is very 1 and 2 seed heavy, but it's complete chaos to get there.
Appreciate the time, Your Highness. Tell people where they can go to sign up for your service.
Yeah, WeWinYouWin.com is $49 a month, folks. Even if you're a $5 bettor, we've done the math for you. It pays for itself. So jump on the right foot, do the wrong thing, and I'll catch you all next week.
You're the man. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. All right.
That joins us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Mentioned it there with Max Crosby and how it really affects the AFC North because, Pittsburgh. What are you doing at quarterback for the second year in a row? We'll discuss that next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Welcome back to That Lux Life. It's your boy, Will Winmore. Today's guest, the Millionaire Ball from the new Ohio Lottery Daily Draw game, Millionaire for Life. Hey-o! So if a player matches 5 numbers and the Millionaire Ball number, they win $1 million a year for life. Hey-o! Or $100,000 a year for life if they match just 5. Hey-o! Millionaire for Life is the game. Millionaire Ball is his name. Play Ohio's newest daily draw game for your chance to win for life. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Save on 12-pack cans of Coca-Cola or 6-packs of Pepsi or Pure Leaf Tea. Select varieties or buy 3, get 3 free with your card. Limit 12. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Remember what sunshine feels like? Windows open, birds chirping, everything looking fresh and new. Spring is closer than you think, and so are those home projects on your to-do list. Maybe winter left its mark, a small leak that's getting bigger, shingles that didn't survive the snowstorms, or siding that's clearly seen better days. Whatever your home is facing, our team of professionals at Newman Roofing are here to help. For more than 34 years, Newman Roofing has been helping homeowners protect what matters most. From your first phone call, you'll notice the difference. Passionate and committed people who care about doing the job right. And with over 1,000 5-star Google reviews, you don't have to take our word for it. If your roof, siding, or gutters need attention, call the family company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof this spring, get a Newman roof.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community's stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Winning isn't everything, but at Tim Hortons, every day's a chance to win when you play Roll Up to Win. Maybe it's a free coffee or donut, or a year's supply of fuel from Shell. That goes a long way. Maybe it's a Kobo e-reader, or up to $1,000 in Uber Eats gift cards, or even a VIP getaway to see Cirque du Soleil. Okay, not something you win every day. Roll Up to Win, only at Tim Hortons. No purchase necessary, 18 plus, ends March 22nd, 2026. Tim Hortons app required for digital game. Use the app to reveal digital rules. Game cups while supplies last. Offer a chance to win food and beverage prizes only. See official rules at rolluptowin.com.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Sunday mornings at 8.
It's the Fan Call-In Show, presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully, with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Get Eco. ECO. When your drain is clogged, our drain team will clear it for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it will stay clear for at least a year. Or we'll clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
ECO. Go to geteco.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today will be very warm as we see high temperatures soar into the mid-70s. It will be breezy at times ahead of storms. Your storm chances are around the noon to 6 p.m. time frame. During that time, any storms could be strong. Even severe storms will be possible with strong gusty winds, heavy rain, and plenty of lightning. That rain gets out of here this evening. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith on 97.1 The Fan.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, so the Columbus Blue Jackets are having a team meeting right now. They play the Utah Mammoth tonight at 7 o'clock, going for their 4th win in a row. Dylan Tyrer was scheduled to join us at 11:30. It looks like we'll push that towards 11:45 if, in fact, we can have the man from the Blue Jackets radio network on with us during the program. But as they meet, he's got to cover that. Yep. So we're going to figure out what's up with Mason Marchman, if Zach Werenski's good to go for tonight. It does look like Connor Garland, who they picked up in a trade from Vancouver, will make his Jackets debut against the Mammoth. Huge opportunity for the Blue Jackets over the next 72 hours because they've got the Kings in town on Monday. It's a 4 o'clock face-off from Nationwide. Both of the contests for the Jackets will not be heard on the Fan. We've got Buckeye basketball today with coverage starting at 4:30. And this is going to shock a lot of people who are familiar with the radio that Jeff Thidoff and I do. But during the break, we actually did some show prep.
Yes, we did.
We made a list. And this list, I'm just going to start it. Okay. Malik Willis, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Tua Tagovailoa, Geno Smith, Joe Flacco. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take Mac Jones. I'm going to sandwich him between Kyler Murray and Aaron Rodgers. The NFL's new league year starts on Wednesday, and that list, I think, is the quarterback free agent hierarchy. I think it starts with Malik Willis of the Green Bay Packers. Okay. Then it goes Kyler, then Mac Jones, then Aaron Rodgers.
Is Mac Jones a free agent, or is he got 1 year? Are they looking? It would be a trade. I think
it'd be a trade, but they have talked about it.
Yes,
so I guess yes. Quarterbacks, I should say quarterbacks that will be available and highly sought after in the next week is a better way to phrase it. So I had heard, I think NBC Sports in the Bay Area had said that the Niners want a 1 for Mac Jones, which it's great to want things.
Right. Doesn't mean you're going to get it.
That's where the conversation starts, though.
Right. I don't want any part of like a Kyler or a Tua through a trade. I don't want any part of that. You know, even if they, I mean, you know, obviously Kyler's going to be released. Right. And he'll be on the minimum.
It's
essentially
$1.5 million.
1.3.
The Cardinals are on the hook for the rest of it.
Yeah. The other 35 or whatever it is million. Tua, I just don't think he's the same player anymore. And I heard Darren Waller talking after the season, and he said, he's tight end for the Dolphins this year. He said in practice, Tua looked exceptional. Like, this guy's stud.
Sure he did.
In practice. Gets into the game, and like, it's he's afraid to get hit.
He got benched for Quinn Ewers.
Yeah. So I don't want any part of those guys. And plus, for Pittsburgh, they're really not the right style of quarterback to play in Pittsburgh, I don't think. I think they're great like in a dome, warm weather kind of stuff, whatever, but I don't think they're great for that. Malik Willis, what concerns me about him, he's attempted 155 passes in his career. Do you remember Matt Flynn?
You do.
Okay, Matt Flynn, he attempted just 132 in his 4 seasons in Green Bay. Had that great end of the season 2011-12. Threw for 480 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception his last game. Seahawks gave him a 3-year deal. At the time was big money, $20.5 million with $9 million guaranteed. And then he lost starting job. Russell Wilson took it. So, he only had 132 passes. Wilson only has 155. It's a very small sample size.
Yeah, and I think I was seeing like 23 million.
Yeah, something like that per year.
You could be requesting on the open market.
Right.
I think for all of those quarterbacks that I listed, the most desirable destination if you pulled them, now you'd have to give all of them truth serum,
right?
Minnesota.
Oh, probably so, yeah. I think so.
I know, you don't know, obviously, but for Aaron Rodgers, it would be perfect for him.
Right.
Because you get Kevin O'Connell, you get Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
Right.
Your competition is J.J. McCarthy.
Right. You've already won the job. Yeah, there's no competition.
And so, look, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah is widely respected around the league. He got fired because of the J.J. McCarthy thing.
Right.
So I think for all of those guys, they would look at Minnesota as put me there somehow.
I'll tell you, if Rodgers doesn't come back to Pittsburgh, the guy I like is Kirk Cousins. And he is now, a couple years removed from his injury. He tore his Achilles week 8 of 2023. And you saw it out there in Rodgers when he first came back from his Achilles injury, how it took him a while to ramp back up. And I think Cousins is finally at the point where he's fully healthy. And so I think that he can put up good numbers. I think he would fit a lot of what Mike McCarthy wants to do.
Yeah.
So I think Cousins might be the best option outside of Rodgers coming back.
And the thing is, and they shouldn't, but Pittsburgh's going to do the waiting game again.
Well, Rodgers is going to do the waiting game.
Well, they're going to wait for Aaron Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to string this along.
Yeah.
As much as he likes to say he doesn't care what people think about him, we know that's not the case. It does feel like with anybody that has to say it as much as he does, I don't care what people think about me. They are obsessed with what people think about him. He goes on Pat McAfee every week, and he's going to do the same thing again. And I looked at Pittsburgh, I go, you really want in that business again?
Right.
Because he was really good for the Steelers last year. Was his last throw a turnover, though?
I think
they didn't offer him much. I mean, they gave him DK Metcalf, and that was as wild of a season for any one players you could have with what Metcalf had last year in Pittsburgh. But I look to the Steelers as another team. It's like, maybe you just want to start over.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy, he's got some runway here. I know all 10 of the coaches got 5-year deals. But you have Will Howard there that people think highly of. He broke his hand in camp, so you didn't see much of him at all this season. Maybe this is the time. Maybe they do maybe they do what I've been clamoring the Browns to do, just tear it all down.
Well,
they'll never do that, but get close enough to where you position yourself in 2027 if the quarterback's going to be there.
The best thing for Will Howard would be Rodgers or Cousins coming in as a mentor to him again. If they bring in somebody younger.
Sure, but if he hijacks their offseason.
Well, but I'm saying like that if they decide to tear it down or bring in a youth movement, if they decide to even draft somebody, they've been linked to drafting quarterbacks later in the draft, not in the first round, but later in the draft.
I saw Ty Simpson to them at 21.
I don't think that'll happen.
But
Carson Beck was one of the options.
That might show where they're thinking, or at least what people are talking about where they would go.
I wish they would have torn it down a few years ago.
We're never going to do it with Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, well, I wish that was the time to do it, because now you've got an aging, talented, way overpriced defense, though. Like, they've got the highest paid defense, I think, in the league again this year coming up, as far as right now goes. A lot can change in the free agency, but you can't really tear it down unless you're saying goodbye to TJ Watt. You know what I mean? Unless you're that era's over then. If you're going to tear it down, that guy's got to be gone, because it's just not. I wouldn't want him to stick around, like I wouldn't expect Myles Garrett to be in Cleveland again. Like, by the time these guys, you're wasting their years. Cleveland wasted Joe Thomas years. If the Steelers don't get better and they decide to tear it down, they're wasting TJ Watt's years.
Yeah. And the thing back to Joe Thomas is I think there was a trade to Denver that he nixed.
Yeah.
So he chose this.
Yeah.
I go to Myles. Like, you chose it. You signed the contract.
Yeah.
You know?
You got the big money from the Browns. And now, I honestly, I'm sure he wants out.
He signed the contract.
I know.
I have no sympathy for Myles Garrett anymore, and it's doubly so with the auto incidents. The
9 and 7 years, and not like little 35 to 25.
The frequency of them. I mean, this was a 90 and a 70 and a 70, or 94 and a 70. So
94 to 70.
That feels tame considering what the other ones have been like. If it's anybody else, they've taken away his license.
Right. I don't know how that.
How.
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
We can be adults here and understand how Myles Garrett's skirting this, but I want, as a Browns fan, so much, just tear the whole thing.
Yeah.
They won't. And the Steelers won't either. And if they go another offseason being strung along by Aaron Rodgers, because if Mike McCarthy's like, please, Aaron, come back. But I'm thinking to Rodgers, you want to be in Minnesota.
Sure.
And if the Steelers allow this to happen, they're just putting themselves in a really bad spot. Because not again can you go and win a weak AFC North. Not with what Baltimore's done.
No.
Not with what Baltimore's just done.
And now Cincinnati's healthy even.
That's always going to be the question I hear.
Yeah.
Or not the question, but the question I have when I hear, well, just get Joe Burrow healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, great. You have, yes. If Joe Burrow is healthy, I mean, they're letting Trey walk. So they've got to take another shot at a defender in the draft. I think they're the 10th pick. So if they can get Caleb Downs, it'd be huge for them.
Yeah.
But Joe Burrow, if he's healthy, okay.
Right.
Biggest butt, I think, in the league, maybe.
Sure it is, yeah.
Joe Burrow and his health. I don't think, however, the AFC North's going to be as down as it was overall.
Right.
I think Bengals will be more competitive. I think the Steelers will be more competitive despite what's going to go on with Rodgers, but I don't think it's in their best interest either direction to let this thing linger with A-Rod. Just give him a date, say you got to pick, or we're going to seek elsewhere. And if that makes him mad, it makes him mad. Right?
The only place he would go is Minnesota if he was going to play again then. You know what I mean? Like there's no other place I don't think would be conducive to him going there.
No. Yeah, it'll be fascinating. League year's going to begin next Wednesday. You got the legal tampering nonsense that starts on Monday. Kyler Murray's going to be a free agent. Malik Willis. Mac Jones is still under contract, so it would have to be a trade for him. You're not getting a first-round pick, but I like and appreciate the effort out of San Francisco. They're in a really good spot. The Mid-American Conference champion, Miami Redhawks, are 31-0. What's their spot look like in the MAC tournament? Because they aspire to be the conference tournament champion. And what's their spot look like in the NCAA tournament? We'll discuss that in 2 minutes. Bishop at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
What can ADP do for small business? We help answer the business questions, like how do you track employee time? How do you do payroll taxes? Or what does compliance even mean? So small businesses can focus on bigger questions. Now florists can ask, can we invent another holiday to sell bouquets? Pizza shops can ask, how do we stuff a calzone into a pizza crust? And pool cleaners can ask, what is that thing in the filter? These are the questions you can focus on when ADP takes care of the business of your small business. ADP for small business.
Hey there, friends. Bill Bishop here from my friends at High Bank Distillery Co. It's well known High Bank is my go-to when I want an award-winning whiskey, but did you also know that they make the best vodka in America? They have 3 incredible spots here in Central Ohio where the food is just as good as what's in the glass. They've got something for everyone, and get this, kids eat half off every Monday, so whether you're sipping on the best vodka in America or simply grabbing a meal with family and friends, High Bank delivers every time. Find a location and a menu at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Need a roof you can count on? Ramos Roofing has protected homes and businesses throughout Ohio for almost 20 years. Whether it's a leaky roof, storm damage, new siding, or new gutters to protect your foundation, Ramos Roofing delivers quality materials, professional installation, and honest service every time. Get your free roof or exterior assessment today and ask about Ramos Roofing's no-interest financing options. Call 614-761-7663 or visit online at ramosroofingohio.com.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage doors is what we do. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
The 2 most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants. The pervert and the skivvies. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yeah, don't let anybody tell you anything different. This is Sports Saturday on the Fan.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
This is not another show that airs Monday through Friday, 9 to noon, despite what other people might try to tell you.
I want to change the name of the show, though.
Fan Sports Saturday?
Yep.
But then how will people know?
I want to call it Rieser and Friends.
I don't want to do that.
Why not?
That's gimmick infringement. We're going to keep it Sports Saturday. We're going to call
Rieser and Acquaintances.
Nope. Not Rieser and Acquaintances, not Rieser and Company, not Rieser and Coworkers. No.
Rieser and Torg.
Nope.
No,
he would never do a show with me
we'll just call it that way, though. We'll just call it that, even though we'll never be in here. Just call it Rieser and Torg.
No.
All right.
We're just going to call it Sports Saturday on the Fan, or Fan Sports Saturday.
That's fine.
Because it's an amalgamation of people. It's a combination of characters every week.
It is the island of misfit toys here.
That's fair.
We just show up and here we are doing some old sports talking. I had talked about, I'm on my sixth cup of coffee this morning.
It's amazing.
I stayed up for that damn OU Miami game, and it was one of the best, if not the best, Ohio-Miami game ever. Redhawks win in overtime. First time in 14 years. They were 0 for their last 15 in Athens to get that win, to make them 31-0. And I see this from Barstool Sports personality Ohio's Tate. He has, congrats to Miami. 31-0 is very cool. Call me old school, but I think you should celebrate with your team after going undefeated, not immediately run over to the other fans to flick them off and taunt them. You saw Peter Suter went over and told the O-Zone they were number one in his heart.
Right? Yes.
If you've ever been to a game at the Convocation Center, if you ever stood or sat in Ohio's student section, they're a lively bunch.
Yes, they are.
And if you saw how the game went last night, it was very chippy and it was very emotional. It was everything you wanted in a meaningful high-stakes game in March in college basketball. I have zero problem with what the Redhawks and what the Redhawks players did. I do have a little bit of an issue with the OU fans, my Bobcats, throwing stuff on the court.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably maybe one of several reasons why they came over to let you know how they felt after the game. This is why we love this so much. This is why we love the madness that is March.
What years were you at OU?
8 to 12.
8 to 12.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just looking at some scores here. 2011. I was trying to find if there's a better game. They had a pretty good game in 2011 at home. Do you remember that one?
No.
92 to 88 Miami win.
I'm sure that games have been close, but Tito, this game, the stakes involved.
You're right. Yes, that's fair.
Have never been higher.
Yeah.
For OU, this is what you want. You want the opportunity to be to make 30-1 on their resume.
Yeah.
To do it in front of your home fans, to continue a 14-year streak of beating the Miami Redhawks, the biggest rival you have on your home court, and to do it in front of it wasn't sold out, but it was packed at the Convocation Center last night. So I loved it. I didn't love the ending, obviously, and I wish, when they award Peter Suter, the Ohio defender drew contact, and so they award Suter the free throws. He hits the game-tying and the go-ahead free throw. Mm-hmm. But then on the other end, you had for Ohio, really the warrior in Jackson Pavletsky draw contact, and they didn't call it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, all right, if you're going to, call it on one end, call it on the other, or don't call it at all. It really kind of turned into a ref show there where you had 5 or 6 technicals called in the last 7 minutes of regulation.
Right.
And to my point, it was getting chippy. It was physical and it was emotional. And it did feel like the refs were like, oh, we got to get a hold of this. Like, I don't know if you do.
It's amazing how much of an impact, and it goes back to kind of tie it back to baseball with the ABS system, where everyone had every umpire has a different strike zone.
Yeah.
And now it's universal. Now you can't do that with the human error part in basketball, but it seems like it is interesting to me how differently games are called. I know it's based on the crew or based on the flow of the game, but I find that's something that's always, I think, underrated as far as we talk about how a game's going to end up.
Yeah, it was disappointing from a Bobcat fan standpoint.
Right.
Awesome for college basketball. Awesome for Miami. When you have a mid-major like this go on the kind of run that Miami's setting up to have, and again, they're one of the top, if not the best, scoring team in the country per the stats.
Right.
And to see a guy like Wally Szczerbiak, who I have affection for as a Cleveland Cavalier, Cavs great, Wally Szczerbiak.
Yeah. Right.
To see, and to be reminded of how fun it is to follow your mid-major program, your little underdog, through the NCAA tournament is one of the great things in sport. And we're going to get that. They're not a mid-major or a Cinderella by any stretch of the imagination, but with Ohio State. The Buckeyes, I think if they play Michigan next Friday, if they're in that game against the Wolverines, the Big Ten tournament quarterfinals it would be, then they are firmly in the field of 64.
Yeah.
And the point you've been making for 2 months is their Sweet 16 team.
Sweet 16 caliber team.
Good job out of you, Jeff Thudoff.
No, listen, Sweet 16.
Take the credit. Tito said it here first. Ohio State's in the Sweet 16.
It's obnoxious to say they are in the Sweet 16, but I will. What I've said all along.
Did you not hear the big voice guy? We are obnoxious.
I know. The DNA of this team is equivalent to Sweet 16. Teams I've seen successful in the past NCAA tournament with a senior point guard who's a great leader, right? You got. I think back to McTean Cleaves, Michigan State. I think back to Khalid El-Amin from Connecticut. I've said his name a bunch of times on there. I don't know if I'm saying it right anymore now, but that's okay. But they've got that. They've got a guy who can take over the game with outside shooting in Mobley. When Mobley's on, it's effortless for him. You know, it's like an easy shot. It looks like a damn layup, how easy it is for him. And so you've got that. You don't have a dominant big guy, but you've got some depth out there. You've got the great freshman in Bynum. You've got Devin Royal. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Chapman's doing stuff off the bench. They've got, if they're healthy, I think they could be in the Sweet 16. They could also lose in the first round.
One of the things that the Blue Jackets have the opportunity in front of them is to set themselves up for being more than just an obnoxious team in the NHL. Because I think for the last 25 years, it's Blue Jackets just been, if anything, just a little obnoxious.
Right.
And a lot of times to their fan base. And you have the first round sweep against the Lightning is really the pinnacle of the franchise.
Yep.
And they've got an opportunity to turn that around.
Yeah.
Right. With what they've done with Rick Bowness, what they've done at the trade deadline is get better. That's the ask, right? You get Connor Garland coming over from the Vancouver Canucks. Right. I know Baker kept saying 30-goal scorer, 30-goal scorer, 30-goal scorer, and I don't know if that was just going to be in the cards for the Blue Jackets at yesterday's trade deadline.
Sure.
Maybe something in the offseason. Who knows? I think for everything that they've been through of the past 2 seasons, the idea that we are sitting here now on March 7th with the Blue Jackets 1 point out of the wild card and 3 points out of a legitimate playoff spot. You're 72 points, 75 the Penguins and the Islanders have, and you've got games to play. Meaningful hockey to play now. This is the biggest opportunity they've had in a long time. And it starts tonight against the Utah Mammoth. We are going to get Dylan Tyrer coming up here around 11:45. The Jackets have wrapped that meeting, so interested to see or hear, I guess I should say, if Mason Marchment, what's his status of the lower body injury, if he's going to go tonight against the Mammoth. Zach Werenski has to be dealing with something debilitating to keep him off the ice.
Right, yeah.
Especially coming off that Olympic break.
Yeah.
I mean, or coming off of his not-so break during the Olympics, but having the golden assist there. Everything's setting up so well for this Blue Jackets team. If they can get healthy, they can make a serious run at this. Because you look at teams in the East, you're not on Tampa Bay's level. You're not playing as well as Buffalo right now. Carolina in a series you probably don't like, but everybody else, the Red Wings, the Penguins, the Islanders, the Canadiens, the Bruins, why not?
And if you look at it, I mean, we know better than anybody here in Columbus. It doesn't matter what seed you are when you get in. You saw it with Columbus when they swept Tampa Bay. You know, just have your goalie get hot, have a couple of breaks go your way, play with some confidence. It doesn't matter where you're at. Just be one of the 8.
All right, so in the YouTube chat, I appreciate everybody who jumps in with this. Chris says, here comes the rain in Hilliard. The sky's opening up. Okay, the rain's going to stay in Hilliard. It's not coming.
That's what it is.
It's not coming east.
No.
It's just going to stick.
We got a big wall.
We're kind of like at Grandview, Columbus, where our studios are. It's not going to come over here. Boy, I'm going to look like a bigger idiot than normal. The nonsense I talked this morning.
Get out and enjoy the weather today, folks.
Yelling at the poor 10 Weather Impact meteorologist about just doing their job. And I'm like, no.
It's going to be a nice day.
Getting it.
No.
Don Waddell, after the trade deadline, spoke yesterday of a great many things. But the one thing I wanted to hear from him was a question of if this team can win Lord Stanley's Cup.
Taking that step to the Stanley Cup's a big, there's only one winner each year. So, just sit here and say we're a Stanley Cup team. There's steps to take there. Do I believe that we're heading that direction? Absolutely. Do I believe we can get in the playoffs and win some rounds with this hockey club? Yes. And, if you look at, again, I go back and look at the season as a whole, where, we were frustrated how we were losing games, and now, I think we've gotten 27 of our last 32 points we've got which is unbelievable that you go on that kind of run. But I never thought we were as bad as what our record was. I thought we were always better than what our record should have been. So when you talk about rental players, and at the deadline here, this is a great group of guys. We've been very fortunate here. We got 2 years in a row here. The guys that we added, Coyle and Woods and Lundstrom, they have fit in very, very well. These guys, they've done it. They've proven they can be a very good team. And, I always look at they deserve to have that opportunity to take it to the next level.
Jackets and Mammoth tonight at 7. Then welcome back Artemi Panarin and the LA Kings Monday at 4 o'clock. Dylan Tyrer from the Blue Jackets Radio Network will join us next. Fan Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at Coghlan Chevrolet. Lease a new 26 Chevy Trax, $169 a month. New 26 Equinox, lease for $229 a month. Or lease a new 26 Silverado, $359 a month. Visit CoglanChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Coghlan has the car for you. 39-month leases. Silverado 36-month lease. $39.99 due at signing plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year. 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/26.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Gardening season is just around the corner. Get a jump start on your garden with quality burpee seeds at Menards. Choose from over 400 varieties of flower, vegetable, and herb seeds on sale now. It's the perfect time to plant seeds indoors and have them ready for spring. Start your garden off right and save big money on burpee seeds. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Family owned and operated. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Here's something you don't hear admitted very often. When you run a business with your family, you don't always get along with them. We argue, we debate, we have real conversations about the decisions that we make. But at Care, every conversation comes back to our priorities, doing right by our employees and our customers. Because when you treat your team like family, they take better care of the families they serve. And when you treat your customers the way you'd want your own family treated, trust follows. That mindset doesn't always maximize short-term profits, but it builds something better, long-term relationships. Today, more and more local companies are being bought by venture capital firms, where maximizing profits often leads to a sales-first mentality. Care is still family-owned and locally operated, so we can keep people, not profits, at the center of every decision. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community's stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Can't get enough of your your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
At St. Jude, every innovation we make is a moment we give to children with cancer everywhere. But we can't do it without you.
Learn more at stjude.org.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
CR, the busy day in Old Columbus town will merge into a busy evening. And that's putting it mildly. You've got the Arnold Classic going on right now downtown. You'll have the first game at Scott's Miracle Grow Field for your Columbus crew at 7:30. But at 7 o'clock, the hottest team in the NHL, and it's not just me saying it, has a chance to make it 4 straight wins against the Utah Mammoth. You won't hear that game on the Fan because we've got Buckeye basketball. Ohio State's going to host Indiana over at the Schottenstein Center at 5:30. Fan pregame coverage for that will be 4:30, but pregame coverage for the Blue Jackets on the Christmas station, that'll start at 6:30. Puck drops at Nationwide Arena at 7 o'clock. The man who will be on that pregame coverage call in lieu of Christmas music is Dylan Tyrer of the Blue Jackets Radio Network and right here at the Fan. Dylan, thanks so much for the time this morning. Understand that the Blue Jackets had a team meeting this morning. It's probably in their best interest to stay off the ice as much as humanly possible, considering the amount of games that they've had this week and what's coming over the next 72 hours. But 2 updates I wanted to get real quick. Mason Marchment and Zach Werenski. Are either of those guys going to be on the ice tonight?
Yes, it sounds like both those guys are going to play in this game. We just had the opportunity to get into the Blue Jackets dressing room. Zach Werenski talked about coming back from a stomach bug that actually forced him to lose a considerable amount of weight, he said, but he said he put most of that weight back on, and he's expected to get back in on the Blue Jackets blue line tonight. Yesterday, we talked with the Blue Jackets general manager, Don Waddell. He said that Mason Marchment was dealing with a minor lower body injury, and it sounds like Marchment is going to play. He spoke in the Blue Jackets dressing room, and he said that was his plan, to play in this game, and he also skated on the Blue Jackets first line this morning before they met. So, yep, both those guys look like they're going to come back, which is huge for this team.
Since they announced that L.A. Kings game being made up at 4 o'clock on Monday, that gives the Jackets 4 games between now and Thursday. How big of a wrench did that throw into the plans for the Jackets having that game dropped in there?
Well, I don't think it's that crazy. The Blue Jackets were already going to play 16 times this month, and now they're playing 17 times in the month of March, which is the most in franchise history. It certainly changed things up from kind of a pre-trade deadline perspective, because if you think about it, the Blue Jackets were going to play that game against the Kings before the NHL trade deadline. It got moved to after the trade deadline. I think there was a little bit of a gripe from both organizations that, hey, that's an extra game that we could have used to evaluate whether or not we wanted to be buyers or sellers. Well, good news for the Blue Jackets. They made it pretty clear that they were going to be buyers by winning coming out of the Olympic break. So I think now that that game has been scheduled for a little while, I don't think it throws that big of a wrench into things. What it does do, though, is force the Blue Jackets to play another back-to-back. They play the Kings Monday afternoon, and then they're going to Tampa to play the Lightning on Tuesday. Never easy to play in those back-to-backs. With that being said, the Blue Jackets have been good in back-to-backs this season, so I would say that is the only thing that really changes for the CBJ.
Dylan Tyrer, the Blue Jackets Radio Network, our guest on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. You talk about the trade deadline yesterday at 3 o'clock. Don Waddell acquired Connor Garland about, I don't know, I got the email about like midnight on Friday morning, I should say. This team fully healthy. Dylan, I think it's fair to say they got better yesterday.
Yeah, the Blue Jackets did get better. They added a guy that's gritty but also has lots of skill. Connor Garland throughout his career has been a 45 to 50-point player. His numbers are down this year playing in Vancouver, but the caveat there is everybody in Vancouver's numbers are down this season because they're not very good. They made a huge trade earlier this year, sending one of the best defensemen in the world, Quinn Hughes, to the Minnesota Wild. And ever since then, the rebuild has been on for Vancouver, and shedding Garland is a part of that. I don't think the Blue Jackets really had to give up too much to get Connor Garland. They gave up second and third round picks, and Garland's going to be a useful piece for this team. He's a middle six player. He can play up and down a lineup. It looks like he's going to slot in tonight, playing on the Blue Jackets' second line with Sean Monahan in the middle and Kent Johnson on the other wing. I'm curious to see what these guys look like. Garland is known more as a setup man than a pure goal scorer, but he's a 15 to 20 goal scorer every season. But like I said, more of a setup man. So we'll see how he works with Sean Monahan and Kent Johnson. But this guy, he's going to add grit. I think Don Waddell talked about it yesterday. He typically likes to add size. The Blue Jackets already have a rather large team. Garland isn't the biggest guy in the world. He's listed at 5'10", probably closer to 5'8", but he plays an in-your-face style, which I think fits with the Blue Jackets, and I think Blue Jackets fans are going to come to like this player.
Dylan, you mentioned Werenski looked like he lost some weight while dealing with the stomach bug. Is that going to affect how much time he can have on the ice tonight?
No, I don't think so. Zach said that he put on the bulk of that weight back. Like, I just saw Zach Werenski in the Blue Jackets room. He really didn't look any different to me. So I think that weight loss happened in the last couple of days, and he's been able to put that weight back on. The Blue Jackets have been very careful with Zach Werenski, not trying to force him back while he's been dealing with this. Rick Bowness talked about it the other day and said, I'm not going to force a guy back if he's not ready to go. That's just going to lead to more injury or a guy getting hurt. So the Blue Jackets have given Zach Werenski his time. There's no pressure. They've played well without him. So I believe Zach's ready to go and take on his normal workload. With that being said, Rick Bowness has kind of lightened the workload for Zach Werenski since taking over. He's maybe not playing, 27, 28 minutes a night, playing closer to 25 minutes a night. So that's something to monitor. But I wouldn't expect Zach Werenski to have any sort of reins on in this game.
Dylan, who do we got in net tonight?
It looks like it's going to be Elvis Merzlikins tonight starting against the Utah Mammoth. So Jets won the last two for the Blue Jackets. Elvis gets an opportunity in this one.
All right, so you heard him there. It's got the Mammoth tonight, Utah Mammoth at 7, and then Monday it'll be the LA Kings, then in Tampa on Tuesday. Dylan Tyrer, the Blue Jackets Radio Network, will be along for it all. Dylan, thanks so much for giving us the time this morning.
Yep, guys, I appreciate it. Go Jackets.
And he joins courtesy again of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. That's got to be a hell of a stomach bug.
Oh, yeah.
Keep him off the ice for 3 games. He's losing weight, but then he just puts it right back on.
I just want him to give it to me. I'll take that stomach bug.
Was it the tapeworm thing that like a hot cup of coffee celebrities were doing to lose a bunch of weight?
I heard.
That's really gross.
That's gross,
Just watch what you eat.
You can do that,
don't
too.
Don't get sick to lose weight. That's not healthy. But Zach Werenski, as you heard Dylan Tyrer say, back on the ice tonight for the Blue Jackets. Mason Marchment will also be in against the Utah Mammoth, and then Connor Garland making his CBJ debut. We will not have the game on the Fan, nor will we have Monday's contest against the Kings. The Jackets will be back on the Fan Tuesday when they take on the Lightning in Tampa, the Christmas station.
Yes.
We'll have both of the Jackets contests Saturday, that's tonight, and then coming up on Monday, we'll have the Buckeyes in Indiana.
You mentioned those 3 things with the Crew, the Jackets, the Arnold, and also the Ohio State women play today at 2 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
2:30, whatever.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. And
the
then the OSU band,
Buckeyes.
4:30 coverage for the pregame show. That's a lot going on
You're
here.
drinking from a fire hose.
Yep.
Yeah. What time did I say? Was it 56:40?
I think that's what it was, Wait.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
56:40,
well,
yeah.
then that, means, Tito, this was good for me. I hope it was good for you. Everybody,
I
we'll
hear that
talk
a lot.
to you next week right here on The Fan.
You still have a minute.
Oh.
For those of us that can do time.
See, thank you for doing that, Nate. And that's what's wonderful about having an experienced radio person, because I feel like it would have been anybody else would have just been silent and then had to quickly come back on the air. Again, going off of 7 cups of coffee, stayed up late to watch that OU Miami game, which if, Adam Jardy said they're making the tournament, I think, 31-0, you cannot keep them out of the big dance. I'm glad this was the entertaining. I hope this was as entertaining for all of you listening out there.
High quality radio.
Gosh, I hope Fish isn't listening. It's one of those situations where he's usually listening, and then I hope this isn't the case, because when we do an air check, it's just going to come back to bite me.
We were just on the air that time?
Yeah.
I thought he went to it.
No. Now,
Okay.
this is where you want to kind of count that down. So if you have anything else you'd like to say to our audience, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Holding peace.
Talk to you on Saturday on The Fan.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.